Hello, everyone. This is Moon Goddess 777. I am here today on this Friday, this Venus Day. Support our organization, Mayat's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. We are a nonprofit organization. We started from grassroots. Been doing this since childhood. A few years ago, put it on wax, white and black paper, and we have been expanding. We are accepting donations. We are about to do a food drive in just a few couple of days. Any donations is appreciated. Cash App is MG777. Woogog WMG7 $ MG777 WGGGAG. And we are accepting volunteers. We can be reached at mayatstemple777 at gmail.com. And please, as you come in, like, subscribe, and share. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Moon Goddess 777. We're going to get into it today. Um, we're going to be talking about several different things. We're going to be talking about the titles, which, as you saw the thumbnail, talking about the Crown Act, Sukihana, OK Siris, Mr. Beast, Billie Taylor, Bootsie, Young Dolph, and Student Debt, and what was going on in Eastern North Carolina in the 70s, and also some other things. Yeah. So, as you come in and as you look at the replay, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you can understand me, if you can hear what I'm saying. Um, I appreciate the support. I appreciate all of my subscribers, everyone that has supported me, even when I was doing my music. I know I got still got some old school music fans out there. Don't throw in the towel with that either. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Moon Goddess 777. As you come in and in the replay, like, subscribe, share, support our organ. Got an organization, My Yacht's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. We are about to do another food drive in just a few days. In the state where we are now, we go around. We could say we've been around the United States. I've been doing this since I was a child. Started off in Eastern North Carolina, um, helping the homeless and children, men, women, anybody in need with food, clothing. If I could assist with shelter or giving them resources to find shelter. And so now, just a few years ago, as I was still doing it, or whatever, I had assistance from, a family member, friends. I put it on black and white, so we are expanding. We're accepting donations. Any donations are greatly appreciated. You'll see the cash out scrolling across the bottom of the screen, the stream, and also, the contact information. We are expanding and everything. We got some upcoming things, so we about to get into it. About to get into this. Get into this live today. We're gonna talk about. I guess we'll start off talking about Sukihana and OK Siris, and gonna get into that, and then go into the other things. Let's see. First, I want to share. I wanna play the opinion of the guy Wiley, what he said about it. That's Mr. Beast. I ain't trying to bring Mr. Beast up. What's up, Mr. Beast? Is where from my hometown, Eastern North Carolina. We're from the same hometown and everything. Mr. Beast is popular. He be doing a lot of stuff. I mean, and he helps a lot of people. But I don't even want to talk about him right now. I'm gonna talk about him later on. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna keep my camera off the whole time. So, let's see. Let me find what I'm looking for. 1 second. I'm gonna bring up the Wiley show, and I like the way he was talking about that situation with OK Siris, and I'm gonna add my input into it. Where is it? Should be right out here. I just was playing it. If I could just go to my history, right? Okay. It's nice. I see my own stuff coming up too when I go to my history. That's nice. And I guess I'm getting in the algorithm, y'all. I'm getting in the algorithm because I got some new subscribers, and they were subscribers. They were saying that they couldn't pull me up because you used to couldn't even pull me up when I here we go. It's the one talking about VLAD. Okay, I'm about to share the screen. Share screen. We're gonna talk about Bootsie badass too, little Bootsie, and it's so yeah. We're going back to the beginning. And I don't have the Prime, guys. But okay, now he is talking about. He gonna talk about what happened with He's gonna talk about what happened with OK Siris and how he feels about it, and Sukihana. You know, Sukihana is the. I didn't know nothing about her, honestly. I didn't know anything about her until I seen her passing or whatever, but I didn't really know who she was until she shot her shot at my uh the Pan African African Prince, Dr. Umar Johnson. That's when I really started looking at her videos and kind of seeing who she was and her sexuality thing. And I thought that was cute the way the way she shot her shot at Dr. Umar Infantunde Johnson. I was like, okay, all right. She was a lady that had daddy issues, and she was looking for a powerful man that could lead her in the right direction. And she was made a video about what she'll do to Umar. She'll make him woke and stuff. And I'm like, I know he like that, because I do follow him. I used to be a more of a, what you call it, like a student, and I say a student, a associate, a follower, somebody that really was like following him for years and everything. And I'm not even gonna. I have no problems with him or whatever. It's just that I just kind of branched off into my own spirituality and my own self. Trying to find things from within. Instead of, because I was in religion as a child, and then I went into the Black Power and stuff, and then I went from that into more so spirituality, looking at things from a spiritual standpoint. I was looking for I was kind of, I can relate to her, because I was looking for a strong man to lead me to, to lead me spiritually and to teach me. And I guess I was also having some issues of, I'll be vulnerable. I'll say I was looking for like a brotherly type relationship, or like, I always admired Malcolm X, so I might have looked up to some of the leaders in this day and time, is like maybe reminded me of Malcolm X. So I kind of looked up to some of the male leaders as like, the spirit of Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and stuff like that. And I'll say that that was wrong on my part, because people are human, and no, they're actually a spiritual being having a human experience. And so I can't put people on pedestals like that when I know I'm a spiritual being having a human experience too. We don't need to look to somebody else. It's all within us. A lot of times when we look to other people, we get disappointed because they're gonna have some people, they're gonna have some fault, like we all do. Like I say, I'm a fallen angel. I'm an angel, just fell from the heavens. I ain't no. I can be a demon sometimes if I'm operating in my lower self and I'm not controlling my demons. I can be. We all can. So it's nothing to be ooh, because we all have good and bad and ugly in us. We are the collective. Um, and I didn't understand that, all the way when I was into, a lot of religious stuff. I was always trying to be, and I'm not even gonna bring all that in here. I'm just gonna get through and we're gonna talk about this. But I was just trying to tell you to bring in how I started looking at Sukihana, and I thought it was kind of cute the way she, I don't judge. When I was in religion, I was very judgmental. I was very judgmental, tight ass, couldn't let my hair down, trying to be all holy. And then when I was sinning, I want to hide it and act like I don't do no wrong and I got it all together. And my stuff don't stink. I'm just being honest. But since I evolved into being a more balanced person, I've seen the times that if I was more so like I used to be religious and judgmental and more so a patriarchal woman, as I may have been in times past, a long, 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 long time ago, I might would have been, looking at her like, oh, I can't believe, she. I was like, wow, like, she, um, the way she expresses herself about her sexuality is so how can I say it? It's very out there and open and very free. Like, I couldn't do that, but I'm not hating on somebody that can, because I'm more like a very conservative person, like in the public and whatever. But um, now, with the right person, married or a relationship or something that's a whole, behind closed doors, they might they certain certain particular might will see that side of me, but I don't, I never been like, how can I say it? And I don't want to say anything patriarchal either because I don't want to be the type of woman that oppress other women. I don't want to be patriarchal and I don't want to be judgmental because I know, we have been brainwashed into thinking that, this woman is better than this woman because she don't do this and that. And that's not true. We are the collective. I am my sister's keeper. I look at her as another woman that has been through some of the same things that a lot of us have been through. I'm not making no excuses, and I'm gonna tell you, I also have compassion for the little boy. And he ain't no little boy. I say little boy because I'm young, but I'm older than him. I'm very still young, but I'm older than those that group. I'm a little, a little few, that tiny, the tad bit. I got them by a little bit of wisdom and stuff. So I say she's, a younger, very attractive woman. I don't know whether she had work done or whatever. She's beautiful, and I think she's trying to find her way. I don't know. Like I know she said she had daddy issues and stuff like that, and that's hard. That's hard on a lot of women. That's a lot of our stories, and that's a hmm, and that's in of itself is a mother sucker, and I am my sister's and my brother's keeper. I'm not gonna put a. I'm gonna let y'all hear this here, but I'm not witch hunting nobody. I'm not gonna put a witch out on her, and I'm not gonna put a witch hunt out on him, and I'm gonna tell you why. After I play a little bit of this, I just wanted to let y'all know how I don't listen to some of that music. But I thought it was funny. Her videos are funny. They're a little vulgar. It's out there. It's funny though. Like it's very sexual. She has a lot of Scorpio. You know them Scorpio. She's Scorpio and got a lot of Scorpio. She's creative with her stuff, and I just think it's comedy and like I don't think that she literally wants to be treated like that in public. Like I know I looked at her on the Candy interview, and she was saying that the guy was talking all vulgar, and I don't want to say exactly what he said, but he said we can go back there right now, and I'll just spread it open and put my face on it. She said, no, that's not nothing I want to do right here, right now. Like she was like, well, that's maybe during the activity of love making, but not something, we can want to do right now. And I get what she's saying, because I feel like if the other ones like Cardi B and Kim Kardashian, I know they may be married and stuff, but that's still not right. If they're not going through that type of stuff and you're making these bop songs and people got these tapes out where they getting it on popping and stuff, why should she have to be treated like that? That's just my opinion. And also with the young man, I think he's the one that wasn't too long ago allegedly had been involved in a relationship with P Diddy. So maybe he was, that's an older man, and I noticed that it's a lot of times where those rich, powerful men are taking advantage of these young boys and stuff to get different music deals, and sometimes they, they got needs and stuff, and they in poverty, and they feel like if they, deal with certain type of men and stuff, they can get certain things to be okay. I'm not making excuses for that. And then some of them even manipulated via, substances and stuff like that. So I'm not even witch hunting on on that boy. I apologize. I don't mean to call him a little boy. I'm just saying he's a young man. So I'm not. I don't think that it's all on him either, because I'm including myself. I believe we as a culture has made it okay to treat women like this and men. I believe as a culture, even other women, we have okayed this, like with different things, even with little girls and even boys. Like we don't take it seriously when somebody is touched wrong. We don't take it seriously when somebody is raped and assaulted in our culture. It's okay. Just look the other way. Jesus gonna make everything all right. You don't want to get nobody in trouble. We need that help. We need that person in the community. That's our pastor. That's our husband. That's our brother. That's our uncle. That's our family member. That's our friend of the family. They help us out. So, don't say nothing. We made a culture where it's not okay to stand up for yourself. We made a culture where it's not okay to stand up for yourself in rape and essay sexual assault situations. We made it comfortable and we created this. And so it ain't all on that young man. I'm not gonna sit here and witch hunt him because a lot of the older generation made it okay. You look at the Aaron Hall and even before them, how they did those women and stuff like that. And I ain't just talking about the brothers. I'm talking about the other races too. Um, what's his name? The Great Balls of Fire guy, the white guy, and those guys. They were into that type of thing too with women. It's not a color thing. It's more so. It's a group effort. Where it's okay to do things to the weaker, about weaker people like children and women and even men, even boys. It's not. This ain't just about, well, we're gonna witch hunt. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. I know he was wrong, but they made him. He felt he been looking at all these other people do it for decades and stuff. We made it. We made him feel. And I say we, even though I've been against it, and I'm not the person to laugh and say it's okay to do this to a woman, but as a collective, they look at us in our community. It's cool to do stuff like that, to force yourself on somebody that and then they feel like he ain't do it to, like I said, he didn't do it to Cardi B. I don't see this happening to Meg like that. I don't see this happening to Kim Kardashian or none of them. So I don't understand, why this would happen to her. But like I said, I'm not gonna witch hunt this young man because we as a collective have made it okay, and it's not just the men that made it okay for this to happen. It's other women too. So we're gonna play a little bit of this and react a little more. This is the Wiley Show, y'all. Y'all can check him out. It's called the Wiley Show, and I like how he talk about certain things, and I definitely like how he talking about this. So I'm about to play it.
I just have to say that. I don't know why I want to say that. You people, you can't. You have to fall in line. Amen. So I just had to just say that. All right. We're here up early today, and I thank God for being here in this video broadcast with you all. We went live last night and we
Okay.
talked about a lot of subjects. We talked about, uh, all type of stuff. The whole Sukihana situation. I really want to add something else to the Sukihana situation. So Give me a second while I add something else. So can you come off? I want to add something else to Sukihana's situation. So I want to put her back on the picture here.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said this because I was really laying on this. It was laying heavy on my heart. And I was playing old interviews. You guys, I don't care if a woman is sitting down, she was on an interview and she was talking about that she's that she's very promiscuous and that she's the H word. And she been an H word, she's her mom been an H word, her granny been an H word. I don't care. You still have to have the correct boundaries when you're addressing a woman. That to me do not validate you to do that. And a lot of times, a lot of people were in my comments and they were saying it was a mixed reaction. But as a man, I feel like we have to call out other men bad behavior. And when I say call them out, I mean by name. What YK Osiris did was very dangerous because it sent a sign to other young guys that it's okay to go and to kiss a woman without her permission. And it's not okay. That is a crime. It is not okay. Like it. You know what I'm saying? She's just playing a
Oh,
game
there
for
you go.
sympathy. But no, she was definitely embarrassed. She was violated publicly. And then, she puts herself in a box where, because of the music that she made, oh, I can't really talk about this situation because of the music that I made. But that's why I come in as a man to say, we stand with Sukihana because it was wrong. Even when the host was so aggressive, you have to be very careful. That's why it's just best to interview them and really not talk about the bedroom because even when that person is so aggressive in the bedroom, you also have a person that will want to dive into that subject matter.
Y'all, I'm trying to share this screen. I don't know what's going on, but we better figure it out. What happened? Hmm. I'm about to get out of all this. Hmm. There we go. Let's say what the heck going on. Okay, we back. We went down. Hmm. It just did its own thing just now. Hmm. Oh, it's trying. Oh, okay. Maybe I hit this small thing. Okay. One second. Hmm. Okay. Here we go. Right now. Okay, I know what's going on. This is crazy. All right. Hmm. There we are. Okay.
Attention business owners.
One
If
second.
you're a business owner, you can get free access to this book.
Was doing too much. You got to be careful doing that. You could have been like, oh, I see you rap about this. Are you that way in the bedroom? You can ask about that, but just saying, hey, I want to lick you, I want to do that. But then he also showed a video of her of him her allowing him to rub her feet. But we have to be very careful, brothers, because again, you have to be very careful because you're treading on very dangerous grounds. It is a lot of brothers out here that have lost opportunity just off an allegation. Let me say it again. Just off an allegation of assault, of being an R word. They lost deals, lost some money off an allegation. We don't even know if it's true or not, but just the allegation and the optics of the situation, brothers have lost opportunities. But then you also have brothers that are actually victimizing women at a very alarming rate. And when you put black women in the spectrum, it's even worse. And then the statistic is very alarming. But if you really get all the women to come together and speak about how they were, assaulted, that did not report it, the numbers would be even more alarming. So we have to be very careful as brothers,
And I like the way he is talking about this because you don't really see men really talking on this because I seen some guys saying that she asked for it and maybe she wasn't in her videos talking about the Suki with the good cook. I'm gonna say cookie. That's her staple or whatever. And he just said that she said that her mama was a 304. She was a 304. I think her grandmama. In other words, she been speaking it on herself, saying they generations of you know, garden tools, hoes or whatever. I say 304. That's what she said about herself. And then they said not too long ago, she let a rapper on a music video walk her like a dog or something like that. We clearly know the lady got low self-esteem and has some daddy issues. There ain't no telling what type of generational curses, they've been under with her saying that about her mama and her grandmama and all them. But I think that she is I know from what she said about when she shot her shot at Dr. Umar, she was saying she trying to go in a different direction. I know I seen her. I do remember that girl from back saying how she sold her soul and all that. She was crying or something, and then they said she was right back on something, being walked like a dog. But people like that, they have a lot of issues of bipolarism and demon possession and mental illness and stuff. So even if they are trying to come out of that stuff, they still gonna exhibit those behaviors because a lot of times they round the look who they round. A lot of times they get that fame and that money, and they still got these issues underlying. So it's just sad that we got these kind of gatekeepers that allow this stuff to go on, and these young people, they already not right when they come into the industry, and they just being exploited and stuff like that. Even this boy. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna witch hunt this young man. I think he been exploited by some of them older men and stuff. Cause I know I just heard not too long ago him acting like he was what is it? He was honored to have been spending some time away in the Caribbean or somewhere with a Puff Daddy. So I'm looking at he's it's just a mess. It's just a mess. These children, they got this talent and they being exploited. They got low self esteem. They already wasn't, then they were born with around the wrong environments and stuff, and their parents failed them, and they in this industry. It don't matter. You go from one master to the other. It seems like, and it's still the same thing. Exploitation and the insane sexual assault, degrading, and it's continuous. There's little better trains and what Kanye said. He said he sold his soul and he got happy with stuff. Better gifts, the gifts get a little better, but it's the same. Only thing what say the game don't change, just the players. They probably went through this in She probably went through this in childhood and stuff, being touched and I think she's originally from Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, and the crime rate there. Statistically speaking, is very high. I was looking too. At one time, I was trying to move up that way around Maryland and Baltimore and maybe that Delaware area. But the crime rate is very high in that city. I'm sure she grew up in poverty and probably, like she was saying with her mother and grandmother experience. If she grew up, I'm sure this lady done been assaulted, in her lifetime before this happened. That's sad. She probably hasn't been protected at all. Um, she probably feels, like somebody said in the movie a long time ago, they said that's all they know to do. So when you know better, you do better. So I'm looking at this as my little sister. I'm not here to witch hunt him, and him is my little brother. Even if they was of a different mother or whatever, like a different skin color. These people need healing and wholeness. They need to be healed spiritually. It's nice to have the looks together. I've been there in past times. I had the outside looking right, going to the gym 6 days a week, and I got this belly tight, 6 pack. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was tough, with the stilettos and all that on, and I'll go in a place and a lot of people that I got witnesses, a lot of famous people that still A-listers, they'll be trying to get with a sister. But I ain't even bragging, but I'm just saying. But inside is what really counts. I had to go from which I'm still about looking good and keeping myself healthy and and everything. But I ain't even got to balance it out now. We can't be around here looking like a yard broom mama. Sometimes I have learned to love myself more without anything on, and I look in the mirror sometimes with nothing on, and I just say, "Look, I love you." The stretch marks, and I've come to even love myself from within. I've come to embrace myself. This is the love day, Venus Day, Happy Venus Day. You need to be doing lighting your candles and telling yourself how beautiful you are. I don't care if you got a stretch mark or a saggy breast or you got a sometime booty where you can see it with some stuff real good and some stuff you can't really see that you got one. You got one. You beautiful. You chose. Somebody said we chose these bodies before we got here, y'all. We might as well look. We chose this. We gotta make the best of it. Turn the lemons into lemon juice and turn the lemon juice into lemonade. Put some sugar on. But if you did have something done, you love yourself anyway. But try to not be so based on the material. Get into the spiritual, the inside of yourself. That's what I was talking to one of the younger people last night about how I went from a lot of material and physical, superficial mess, and to put more value into spiritual things. Things that really gonna carry me from this lifetime to the next, where I don't have to keep coming back and making these same mistakes. I want to learn. I want to face myself. I want to realize. I want to figure out why am I here? What's my purpose? So I don't got, even if I do come back, maybe I don't have to come back to this level no more. But maybe I can ascend some levels and I don't got to go through this. Maybe I can clean up my karma and stuff. But I'm gonna play some more of this, y'all. We're gonna get comfortable and we're gonna have some deep conversation. Y'all can comment. Let me know if you can hear me. You can comment in the chat. Let me know what you think and everything. Welcome to the replay. This is the live. And like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for coming. Support our organization. But I got some more things to add to this because you ain't even. I want to say it's been times when I have walked around with big clothes on so that I could look less attractive. I worked on this job years ago. And I only worked that job because I had to take somebody to work, a family member. And I was like, well, if I got to take them to work, let me go make some money. Because I'm the type of person where I'll go work in a pie factory, even if I'm a book author or I'm on TV or whatever. I ain't no shame in my game. I need to make some money today. I'll go mow some grass right now. I'll go and take, all this stuff off. Might let the makeup stay on and sweat it off. You might see me out there mowing grass or trying to build something, work on a car. I'm just diverse like that. I don't think that I feel like I'm royalty and queen and all, but at the same time, I feel like a queen and a royal person or somebody that's a leader, they supposed to also, what Jesus say in the Bible? That was a good statement that Jesus made. Or, they say Jesus said that, King James version and Shakespeare and them, Shakespeare even got his signature all up in songs, and they was all friends, Shakespeare and King James and stuff. But it says that what did Jesus say? Allegedly, he said that the person that's your leader got to be your servant too. So I always followed after that, where I didn't mind getting my hands dirty. You know, I don't mind. I'm like, I can wash, I can clean up nice. You know, so. But I was taking effect. Getting back to my subject, y'all. Let me know, y'all. Okay, I was working at this place because I wanted to take my family member to work, but I wanted to make some money because I'm like, why am I? Because the place that I moved, when I moved back home, I don't want to do nursing and some. I didn't want to do nursing and stuff in some of them. I didn't even want to do. I'm gonna be honest. It's a totally difference of doing some jobs in some locations, and I do my research and I know like and from being there originally, I knew that it hadn't developed that much. So I was like, I'm not about to be doing no heels have eyes type jobs in these backwoods, and these people already act like they, you know, some of them just, you know, they, not everybody, y'all, not everybody, but some folk just act like they ain't. I done heard some stories and I done witnessed some stuff too. And I'm the type of person where I got a little more, I'm a little more balanced now, but back in the days, my temper wasn't so good, and I'm not a person to be worried about like what who you are or who you think you are. I'm gonna do what I gotta do and gonna get out of there if I feel like I'm threatened. I'm just being honest. I ain't no person to hurt nobody. I'm a very loving individual, but I have an instinct of to protect myself, and I'm gonna make sure I get on up out of there and I be okay. Whatever means necessary. That's just how I am. I'm more balanced now, but I used to be kind of bad. I felt sorry for the other person because if they put me in a corner, then I gotta do what I gotta do. Like I'm like I have to survive. I was like, I grew up with a lot of boys, and I was a tomboy growing up, so I was always willing to, you know, with them boys, they always picking on you. They always trying. I always had to grow up in a environment of I love my grandmother, and I'm so grateful for her. I'm grateful for the old saints and stuff. Lord, I had some good people around me. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I ain't had no good folk around me. Cause back, you know, in those times we had some good old people, the old saints and stuff like that. It was some good people. I Lord knows that it ain't. A lot of them have passed on to the other side, and they still with us. And you know, we supposed to venerate our ancestors. But I'm just saying, when it got real, it got real. I was around a lot of boys, and they were rough. These were some country, uh, what you call it, church like people, boys. They were just bad. They were bad. I was always having to defend myself, and I learned how to fight early. So when I got up, you know, I kind of took that into my teenage years and stuff like that, which I knew how to be professional. I won't know. I didn't grow up in the hood now, but I grew up around very conservative people that owned their own land and had houses and had their farms and stuff like that. My grandmother was a bit. She had my grandmama told me when I was a very little young girl. My mama and them act like they got amnesia. They didn't know. They didn't get taught this stuff that my grandma taught me. My grandmama said, "You are an Indian. You a Cherokee Indian." She said, "Look over there and look over here." She said, "All this is mine, and it came from my daddy, and it's always been in the family." Now look, y'all look at my complexion now. Now I'm not no. I mean, I a lot of my ancestors, and even a lot of my family members are different varieties of beautiful complexions of darker than me, and most of them are fair skinned. It's some odd people, whatever, that look like Clark Gable. I mean, Dorothy Dandridge, just different varieties. I've been used to different varieties of indigenous people with green colored eyes, blue eyes, blonde hair, all different varieties. I grew up with that, you know, and when I did my research, I don't know how accurate that research was, or when they came to that location where I'm from in the 1700s, it said it was a diversity looking of people there, like what from what I grew, the people that I grew up with. And I did the oh god, I did the census. I looked at the census thing where they said they did a census genocide in 1890. I tracked my on the maternal side. So when I did that, as Dane Calloway, I shout out to him. As I tracked it what he said happened. When I looked on that census, they did label some of my ancestors as Negroes, and they did label some of them as colored, and then they did label some of my ancestors in the same household as white. I don't understand that. because in my grandmother's mother's household, they had like about 12 children. Some of those kids was labeled as Negroes, some of them was labeled as color, and other ones were labeled as white. And I know some of my grandmother, sisters and brothers and stuff like that. Some of them and her niece, they do look very fair. Like even now, some of them, if you didn't really know, they could pass, for being European or whatever. And if they did, I was like, I understand that if they did, I would allow them to be, I think they were 12, they said they were black, but they went off and stuff, but they good, but they did. I don't think some did, I didn't know. One of my grandmother nieces is here with her name. She had hair down to her butt. I still got pictures because I've been her, like, I ain't gonna say my I've been her, like, one of my grandmother's she had hair to her butt. She's one of the ones that was like her. She's one of the ones that she went off with this man. The family, my grandma said, I know that's what she said, her part again. Very beautiful lady, look like Georgia Davis had naturally long hair, beautiful, different, just, I grew up with a variety of people. I'm used to beautiful people of all different colors, from the, I love all skin tones, from the darkest to the lightest or whatever. I'm used to diversity, even being in the part of the world I grew up, I'm used to a diversity of people, different people, beautiful people, so, anyway. Getting back to this job, I told myself over this job when I got there working. Some of the guys was trying to talk to me, but I didn't want nobody to talk to me. And I went like that. I wasn't trying to date nobody or nothing like that. Sometimes I just don't want to be bothered because I be trying to fix myself, and that's okay. That's not the old me. Because the old me used to always have that, I'm going to be married because in society, if God said it's a sin to have relations out of marriage. I was raised in a very conservative family, so a whole lot of, extra, if I'm doing some stuff crazy, it's going to be low, back in indoor, low key. I ain't going to be all out there in public acting like no food. Because I know my people, how they is, they got standards, they'll disown, even though they got some mess with them. And my grandmama, I don't want that mess in my, mom dudes, I don't want that mess in my family. You like, dang, man, I'm going to get this on if I do certain things. That's how we were, that's how I was raised and stuff like that, But, I kind of, I was a balanced person. I could hang with the high level doctors and lawyers and, judges, and then I could get with the best of the ones that was rough too. I was just a balanced person, but I won't gonna get all involved in that mess and get me all into no trouble and stuff like that. I know when to go on home and be like, I see y'all later because y'all doing too much, and I tell them like that. Don't bring that stupid mess around me because I got too much to lose. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I worked this job and I was trying to look like I don't know if I was trying to look like maybe an old lady or. I just knew because see my family members used to work jobs like that, and they used to tell me about how to avoid being harassed and stuff. So by me knowing that, I always said I was not gonna work no place like that, not because I felt like I was better. I just seen how when my family members worked those type of jobs and how what it did to them and how they won't never home and they got caught up into that life. It's a whole lifestyle working in them places like that. You know what I'm saying? Like. You get in them jobs and you get caught up into that stuff, and them people you don't know want to be with your family. You want to work overtime. I seen it firsthand from like as a child seeing my parents, work these jobs. I was like, I'm gonna go out here. They made a bet on me. My family members made a bet that I wouldn't last 90 days because they know that I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to be in that environment. It's a hostile environment for women. It's like patriarchal and stuff, and they know me. They know I don't like stuff like that. So it's these were male family members making a bet that I wouldn't last 90 days. So I had to beat the bet, y'all. So y'all know I lasted. But the funny thing is, when I got out to this job, I'm looking like plain. I wouldn't wear no makeup. Really, I definitely wouldn't wear no makeup to this job. I try to have my head covered, y'all. I had on raggedy clothes, all that. I'm telling you, I keep me some clothes that I want to wear when I don't want to be noticed and don't want to be bothered. I sure do. I had me some old big pants, raggedy big shirts. Like I had it be cold in there. I had on these big coats and stuff. Boy, these people, some it's some people that it's the area where I'm from, so some people knew me, they recognized. I wasn't ashamed to work it, cause I was making I was getting that check. You daggone right. I get my check and invest and put me a book out. Like I said, ain't no shame in my game. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I know how to take a bath and clean up real nice. And I'm glad I'm like that. I'm a hustler. So I was working this job and I lasted, and the family member was like, "Oh, she doing it, like we can't believe it." So I know something wrong. I don't even want to get into detail. It's so embarrassing, but okay. So when I first started working this job, it was so easy what I had to do. So I know something wrong. I was like, "Oh, like I ain't working hard like everybody else." And it ain't that. It's not that. Somebody was like, "Well, you probably look nice without makeup on," which I think I do, but no, that was the enemy. That nope, because there was a lot of nice looking women. They had better fit. I'm gonna be real. They had better figures than me. They, in that area, them people color struck. They were lighter than me. They had better figures than me, and they were younger than me. So it wasn't that. It was the enemy knowing that I didn't want to be bothered. If I would have wanted, if I would have wanted to be bothered and wanted attention, nobody would have paid me no money. They probably would have been like, "Get out of my face." But by me wanting like this, I was like, "Oh, they came, boy. They came after me." It was so bad until I had a situation where I had to report it. I got actually assault. Not now. If somebody tried to take the cookies at this age, now I ain't no little kid, then they would have been probably 6 feet deep, or they would have been in the hospital or something. But the next job, they had to cover up their face. We had to like the men could cover up their faces and stuff like this. It's something I'm telling you that I did not want to do. But I just wanted to, I like to try different stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this money. That's about you made this much a week and this and that. So I went out there and tried it. Don't you know this man walked up and he grabbed my breast. The man grabbed my breast and ran. I swung at him. I hit him, but he ran. I didn't know it was a big fat company. So I went to the PR. I was like, y'all got this on camera. I was going up. I was like, y'all got this shit on camera, don't you? Don't you know them people acted like they couldn't find that daggone that tape? They acted like they couldn't find. I mean, I waited and waited and waited and stuff like that. But see, some areas like that, some areas that you work in, this was before the Me Too movement really hit real big and all that too. Some areas that you work in, these were women in the office too. These were women in the office that was saying they couldn't find a tape. That's what I say, that a lot of times women are a part of this stuff. And maybe they're scared they're going to lose their jobs or whatever, but they make environments for this stuff to go on. And it was times when I'd be doing stuff and I know I would have on loose clothing, but I'll be bent over having to do stuff. And I ain't got no badonka. I don't think I do. I ain't never thought I had no badonka. No, I don't think I do. And now I can wear some stuff and I'll be all right. It look like, what I'm saying? They say I got it going. The people tell me I do. I don't pay myself no mind like that. But I think I'm cute. Nice. It ain't been no big deal. I know what I can do, though, when I go to the bathroom and do the job it's supposed to do. So I don't give a shit. At this point, I really don't. I used to be conscious because when I was growing up, it seemed like when I started developing, I had more of the bust than I did that. I had always had big legs. Then later on, after the kids and stuff, then that booty started. I ain't never really paying no mind, but hey, I don't care. But I find out these people, even the women, but these men people are too in the Lord. They are too lustful. They are too in the Lord. I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with love making. It ain't nothing wrong, baby, with seeing something you like and you wanting a piece of that. It's nothing wrong. But what are you going to do with that energy? See, we've been taught wrong. We've been taught just to be a part of the pleasure part of things. We ain't taught to, what you going to do with that sexual energy once y'all connect? Are you connecting with the right individual? When we connect, what are we creating? What are we manifesting? We might not be having no baby. We might not be creating no baby, but we creating some kind of baby, whether it's spiritually or whatever. Is this person an energy vampire? Are they taking my energy and using it to fuel themselves and draining me and depleting me of my energy and my life force? Because when a woman is laying with a man, that man getting something out. He getting more out of that. They say we getting something. That's why a woman can't do like a man do, because a man be all right when he around a lot of women, but a woman around a lot of men, you can, this day and time, a woman can barely be okay around one. It's good if you a woman, you got one man that you can be around and y'all at peace. Because now with this war, and it's been like that, but it's getting a little like it was back in the 90s, the mid-90s. Remember the mid? Anybody remember the mid-90s? I know some of y'all was just born around that time, but in the mid-90s and stuff, it was a lot of balance going on between the man and the woman, and it seems like we back at it now. So it's kind of tough with, so a woman being around a lot of men, especially now, it's rough. I wouldn't want to work in a whole environment where I got to be around a lot of men at this day and time. I commend you women. I commend you, or a bunch of patriarchal women. It's a dog eat world out there. I'm telling you, I would not do some of the jobs that I've even done in the medical field. I wouldn't do them now. I would not do them now. No. And I got paid a lot of money back in the day, and I done resigned from stuff because of me having to sacrifice and sell out my family and not be able to be up for my children and stuff. And I was making the money, but I know I couldn't do it now. I couldn't. My soul would be drained. But I commend people. I commend people that do, and I tell them to hold on and you manifest, your heaven on earth and stuff like that. But yeah, I worked that job, and I'm telling you, them men with some. And I realized in general, the women like that too. People too lustful. They ain't got control of their lower self. Even this situation, the way he walked up there and grabbed that girl, that's, honey, you asked her, look, baby, you really turned me on. Like, I mean, you are just leaking of sexuality. Like, I think you might be the one. I mean, is there any way we could spend some time together? Because, I mean, yeah, she is a sexy lady. I ain't even no hater, even when she throw her shot at, oh boy, Dr. Umar, I was like, oh, Umar like that. I ain't no hater. I don't never hate the game and all the players. But, yeah, he could have been like, yo, text her or DM her, like, yo, what's up? Like, you a bad mama. Like, I'm feeling that. Like, you just brought, he evidently she must have brought out. Look, he done got tired of P Diddy. He want to be with her. All the stuff she advertised she do. He could, boy, but he should have handled it better. He should have said, listen, can I? And some men, when you get along with them, they act like they ain't never been with no woman in their life. I don't like that at all. Don't get with me and act like you thirsty. Just be cool. I like a cool, laid back. I got a Mars in Taurus, so I'm not gonna be like just jump. As soon as I see him ready to jump on you like a tiger. No, let's build up to that. Let's cuddle and look at. I might not want to I might not want to do nothing I don't want to do nothing when I first meet you. I ain't seen your doctor report. I don't know what you got. I don't survive the AIDS epidemic. I ain't trying to go out like that now. I love myself. I even love myself when I didn't love myself. When I had low self-esteem, I wasn't about that life. I ain't saying I'm no perfect person. I ain't saying I done everything right neither, because I've been made plenty of mistakes, y'all. A loser ain't nothing but a winner that kept on trying, and I'm a loser. There's a winner, because I keep right on trying, and I keep right on trying to figure this shit out. Honestly, like, that's it. I keep trying to figure it out. I don't give up on myself, and a lot of times I don't give up on others. I might gotta walk away and distance myself, but I have learned what unconditional love really is. I used to think I knew, but I didn't know what love was and stuff. It ain't what we think. It's not what we think it is. But I'm gonna let this play on some more. But I just want to put that in there. Yeah, we have created this environment because it's okay to touch these kids, and if it's a certain person that got a certain status in the community or they our family member, our favorite, we don't say nothing. Just pray about it. If it's somebody we don't like, we ready to Me Too movement. Yes. Police, can you call them statutory rape? if it's somebody we don't favor, but if it's one of our favorites, we don't get the same energy about getting them out of the community and stuff when they harming and like I said, them older guys done taught him how to be this way. That man ain't that old. That's a young man right there. He learned from watching them. And you see how nobody checked him for doing it, because she's a darker skin, brown, beautiful to me, brown skin. I don't care whether she had surgery or not, but brown skin lady, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, and they color struck in that industry, they feel like they could just do a lady, a brown skin woman any kind of way. Like she just happy to be passed around and treated like a piece of no woman, even if a woman is a stripper. Okay, and I hope the men look at this, because I'm gonna tell y'all, because I know y'all don't know, because I know y'all don't know this. Y'all think that if a woman is up there twerking and stuff, and she at the strip club and stuff like that, that means that she automatically wants you to bang her out. No, so those women want to be. A lot of those women just want to be looked at as a fantasy. They don't. Some of them don't actually want to do the act. They just want to create a fantasy for you to look at them, and then you go somewhere else and get that deed taken care of, y'all. I mean, and a woman don't want a man to be like, if you in a relationship with a woman, don't nobody want nobody poking at them all the time. Like a dog. I mean, what? That is the number one turnoff. I'm telling you. If any men listening, that is a turnoff for a lot of women. I talk to a lot of women of all ages and stuff like that. And I talk to men too. I'm not no man hater or nothing like that. That's why I'm not up here like, oh, let's throw this little boy in the trash can. Because I feel bad for him, because I think he been essay himself and probably passed around by that industry, that Romanistic, demonic. If you don't bend over, you can't get no money industry. Them gatekeepers and that look like us. And see, yeah, that the other ones, the Romans or whatever, might have taught them, but it's people that look like us involved in this stuff. It ain't just no older white man. It be our own people that's the agents of chaos a lot of times. It be our own. It don't be them other races. It be our own. We got to get our own people out of this, and see, even the ones that ain't even get the poor people going through this. This is happening from the church house to the schoolhouse to in our homes, where these people are being passed. These children, they get passed around and assaulted as children, and it's looked over. Then they get in they got these talents and stuff, and they get in these industries and the same shit. It's time to put a stop to this. It is. Somebody need to talk to him. It would look like it'd be somebody that got some damn sense in that industry that would have talked to him before he made a fool of himself. He probably was tweaking on some stuff too. He probably was tweaking. I ain't trying to make no excuse for him, because we're wrong as hell. But these is victims assaulting. These people is just been. They just, all they do is dress them up, put them on clothes, and make them look good. They know how to dress them. But is there any parenting and nourishing there? These people shouldn't be raising no. I wouldn't let them be around my dog, Shanga. Some of these people that raise these children, they wouldn't be around my dog. I wouldn't trust them around my dog. I sure wouldn't. I treat my dog good. They say a good man even treat his animals, his pets and stuff good. So play a little more of this, then we're gonna get into something else. But I just wanted to kind of tell my side of the story, like what I experienced and stuff. Oh yeah, and recently I had an experience with a person that I didn't know they look. At first they look not younger than me, but they look younger than the age they was, and they want to be. I'm like, get away from me with that lustful mess. I don't know you from a can of paint. Ain't nobody trying to mess with you. I don't know you. I ain't seen your health record or nothing. I wish I would. I done made it this far and I'm healthy, and I'm grateful. It ain't that serious. I was about to look. That man had me at the point. I'm trying to handle business now. I said it's business before pleasure, but I'm about to tell that man I was gay. I swear I'm about to. Leave me to hell. I'm about to say I don't even date men. Don't come at me with that lustful mess. You ain't even getting no. I might not. Whatever this coloristic thing you got in your head about a brown skin or this ain't it over here, honey. This ain't it over here, okay? Don't come to me with that mess. I don't know you. I don't know what you got. I ain't kissing nobody I just met. None of that. I ain't doing none of that mess. I don't care. And I ain't no lame or no square or none of that neither. I'm not doing that now. It's more value to a woman than just you gonna give me some cookies. No, we can get it. It's more value. I can tell you some stuff that you might don't know. It's other things I can do. I might can be your friend. It ain't always about that. No. Oh, I mean, and I've been in situations where I done turned down people that y'all see as A-list celebrities that y'all would have been like, oh my God, this person wants me. And them people, I ain't saying this, I don't know for sure, I'm just saying allegedly. A lot of them people that got all that money and that fame and stuff, some of them don't even use protection. They can feel like it's invincible. They can go around being whoever they ain't about to get caught up. Nope. I love myself. Sure do. I love myself now. I love myself. I must have always did. I might didn't love myself as much as I love it now, but I really love myself now. Stretch marks and all. Sure do. I value myself. Mm-mm.
Lifting and covering up for brothers like OK Siris that's doing this to women. Because if he did it to her, how many more women have he done this to and laughed about it? You understand? Because many people think, oh, I'm attractive, I'm a celebrity, oh, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he laughed about it. And that does not make you a man, that makes you a coward. Because a true man always respect women. They are gentlemen. They don't go up to the women and automatically, you know what I'm saying? Give me a second. They don't go up to the women and say, hey, let me just take this from her. No, a man with class will always be respectful to a woman. I'm going to say that again. A man with class will always be respectful to a woman. A man with class, a man of standards. The problem is a lot of these young brothers, they have not been trained how to be a man. And being a man to this day is always being respectful to women. Understanding boundaries. That's something that you should have been raised as a little boy. And it's no excuse because you are a celebrity. If you don't know, go out there and get some training. There's many good mentors that you can look up to. But it's not cool to do what you did. And yes, he apologized. And Sukihana's mother came out and trashed the apology and called it crap, a piece of crap. So this is really sad. And all of the media outlets is really dragging it. And now you see groups that are stumped down, Me Too times up. They're now starting to say things as well. So you have to be very careful. It's very dangerous. And so any type of deals that this brother could have possibly had, he's pretty much tarnished. No groups, no networks, no products, no, anybody want to work with a guy that has got that label on him that he loved to go out here assaulting women. So we are definitely going to keep you all updated about the story, but I had to bring this up because it's heating up on the blogs. It's very heating up on the blogs. Sukihana's from Florida, South at that, close to where I'm from. It's very common for females to talk, but they don't mean what they say. It's just part of the culture. It's part of the culture. And as I say, I believe she's a very wholesome woman in her personal life, private life, but her public persona is to be aggressive about the body parts. That's only how you get noticed as a woman. We don't really promote, women of class, of standards, of don't talk about their body parts. We call them boring. Oh, you tired. You ain't with the times. It just is what it is. Just like, we was just watching Keke Palmer interview. We was watching Keke Palmer interview today on Jason Lee podcast. And I was watching it this morning before I started the show. You don't see that particular video going viral. Why? Because she ain't talking about her body parts. She's literally talking about her career. And ain't nothing about her private parts, right? Talking about being a mother, talking about being
Yeah, that's why a lot of them, those women are exploited, and they have to sell themselves like that with the music industry because that's the only way they can make it. A lot of times, they ain't saying they gotta go as far into it as Sukihana does, but you notice like Cardi B, Beyonce, a lot of Megan Thee Stallion, a lot of those women, even the rappers, they all talk about this S word, and it seems like for a long time that has sold. So I guess she feeling like she's already probably been exploited as a kid, and she say her mama, grandmama, all them is garden tools. She went in, you know, a brown, darker skinned woman. She like, shoot, these lighter skinned women, they going in like that. I really gotta go extra mile to attract attention. I want, you know, to get where I want to get in the industry. So, you know, you could be something like that, you know, too. Cause they if they not showing their bodies and looking a certain way, you don't seem like they making no money in that industry, honey. You know. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. You know, they got, it's like they've been exploiting women for years. Look at all of them, Jennifer Lopez, and if them women ain't selling the S word by the way they look, and even Beyonce being a married woman, you know, nobody ever says anything, but you know, she does a lot with, with, selling her sexuality and putting herself, out there too. So, hey, even a married woman, they think they have to do it. They like, to make it married, you know what I'm saying? So, just wanted to know that.
But then you see Sukihana interview, I mean, hundreds of thousands of views because of the subject matter of what she's talking about. So a lot of brothers out here saying, well, she's inviting that energy to her. I've known some sisters that never invite that energy to them, and they still get assaulted. They're just as calm, they're holy, they're church, they're minding their business, they're classy, and they still get.
Man, you can be out here looking like a rag doll, because I look like a rag doll. I look like a rag doll, with some big clothes on, no makeup. I might have that. I went to the store. I had one hot. I had a hoodie. I think I had metal. I had like Chris on the side. Don't you know, the man gave me free stuff and tried to get me to come back. I'm like, I don't even know I got to the man that day. He was trying to give me free stuff and was telling me to come back. You think I carry that? No. No, I'm not putting myself in certain situations, man. I ain't saying no word. I ain't saying getting no weird situations, but I gotta learn from my mistakes. These people. And I ain't mad for no man wrong, but people, that be forcing themselves on people taking too far. And if be doing this to the wives and the girlfriends and baby mothers, sometimes a woman just don't be bothered, all the time. If she say no, then leave her alone. You don't even supposed to be messing with people in their sleep and stuff. That's why I sleep. I ain't live with no man. If I got one, he gotta come see me, and I see him, he gotta get out sooner or later, cause I'm not living with him. I done been there, done that, and that's me. And these are all Moon Goddess 777 thoughts in the pen. No.
Get assaulted. They still get harassed, and they not out here, twerking or showing their undergarments or showing their private parts, and they're still getting violated. So you can just be that whole theory. That's the same theory people would say about brothers that get pulled up by the cops. Oh, be professional. It's some brothers that was very professional and still lost their life. They put their hands on the wheel. They said yes sir, no sir, and they still was gone. It still was deleted. Because if you still got an evil person, it doesn't matter if you were polite. If that evil spirit want to take you out, that evil spirit want to take you out. So this whole narrative that women...
He right, y'all. I got a funny story about this baby. I wish these people would put this baby on the TikTok. So the daddy got pulled over, right? And the baby, I think it was something. It wasn't nothing serious because the daddy was taking her to school or something like that. Picking her up, taking her to school. So I think it's something wrong with his tags expired or something like that. So the daddy got stopped by the police. So when the police came up to the car, I think they were getting ready to give him a ticket or whatever. So the little baby ain't but 2 years old, y'all. The baby started saying, hello. This baby, I got some stories about this baby. I be trying to get permission to be doing some tips. This baby is. So the baby said, hello, how y'all doing? Hey. She know what this baby, I'm telling you, I try to tell the mother, your baby this baby know what she doing. She said, hello, all that little sweet stuff, right? So the police officer just said, oh, she is so adorable. They let him go. Okay, soon as the daddy got in the car and the police officers walked back to the car, guess what this little baby said? Y'all, the baby said, night, Candy, night. That's what she called her daddy when she got something on him or she pissed with him. she called her daddy night night because he used to make her go. He make her go to bed. He said night night. So she said night night candy. I said, God, girl, y'all need to put that baby on. Y'all look, that baby is a trip. I got some stories about that baby. I said that baby been here before or something. Because she look said as soon as the daddy said as soon as the officer walked on about their business, she looked at him. She said night night candy, night night. When she say night night, she got some on his butt, or either she mad with him. She didn't call him daddy. She said night night candy. I want some candy night night. Meaning you make me go to bed all the time. I said Lord, I thought that was a funny story. Oh geez.
Be wholesome, put on long skirts. You can put on long skirts, and women will still be a brother out there that still think it's okay to aggressively go and put their lips on this woman's lips. There's no telling that person could have had a virus. You don't know where his lips have been. Ooh. Could have been on P-Diddy, could have been on another man, an infected ping. You just really don't know. But it was wrong. And I constantly got to talk about this because people are putting it out there. And then a lot of people, unfortunately, is putting the blame on her. Typically, when Black women go and get victimized, they put the blame on the woman. In this particular case, this ain't not something that happened behind closed doors. This is something that happened out in the open. So you could come to a...
And this why a lot of women, especially Black women, don't come forward when something happens to them. Because they know that the people going to go against them and support the man. I got friends and stuff. You know, even in situations when I was a counselor, even in personal situations, women don't come forward. Even they don't come forward because they know what's gonna happen to them. Oh, you just mad with that man because he, you know, because he's about to be something or he's doing something in society. Don't let it be no powerful man. Don't let it be no powerful man that a Black woman come against. They're gonna be like, oh, he didn't want her, so she, and that can be the case sometimes. I'm not saying that that's not the case of women use the grape and assault thing for revenge, but it ain't always the case. Some of these men be out here in our community just really exploiting these women and stuff and getting away with it. And it's not just men, it's other women that uphold this type of behavior. And that's why, like he said, you can imagine what going behind closed doors. If he doing that in public, out in front of it, that ain't okay. It's just not okay. Like I used to tell somebody, like, do not be touching on me out in public. Don't be hitting me on my butt. Don't do that. I don't like stuff like that. I mean, it's different if we behind closed doors and stuff like that, but we just out in public. I'm a business person. This was a long time ago. I wouldn't. Don't be doing that. I don't think that's sexy at all. That's me. That's my opinion. Some women like it, but I might have a client that I'm in the store with or a patient or something, they're gonna look at me and you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, that ain't gonna be cute. I'm professional, and you know what I'm saying? I'm holding down an elite job. You gonna be smacking me on? Get the heck out of here with that mess. No, it ain't that serious, bro. I don't even need to be around that. Period. So, yeah. Well, like I said, we men and the women, we make it comfortable for this stuff to go on.
Conclusion: what he did to her was completely wrong. It was out in the open, clear as day, out in the open. And then when he kissed her, he just walked and started laughing. Literally went up to her and started kissing her and literally started to laugh. And then once he got the backlash, okay, now you want to apologize because your career is in jeopardy. Now you want to apologize because she can sue, she can press charges. Multiple lawyers are reaching out to her. Everybody's and this have literally boosted her career to not only just be the poster child of assault. You know what I'm saying? They would use her, especially a lot of white liberals would use her because even though they probably won't stand up for her like that, but they would use her celebrity to further their agenda about this whole Me Too Time's Up situation. So I'm praying for Sukihana because number one, she's hurting right now. She's embarrassed and she's getting dragged. Because typically when a brother commit vicious crimes, other problematic pick-me Black women will defend that behavior because they always dealt with guys all in the neighborhood that aggressively touched them, hit on their butt, never respect them as women. So they come and they develop that behavior on the internet. And
y'all hear that? I ain't the only one saying it. He said this is normal in our community where the men be, even as little boys and stuff, and it's all right. You know, we make it okay for, you know, we make them comfortable to be able to do this kind of stuff to the little girls, and then they grow up into women being violated, so they just go from one violator to another. Yep.
Say, well, he didn't do nothing wrong. She got what her deserved. She shouldn't be talking about that. No, she did not get what she deserved. What happened was wrong, and it was illegal, and it was unjust, and it was unethical to see that behavior displayed in a public space. Even this is even treacherous to see it in a private space, but to see this so public and for him to do it and be so calm about doing it, he done that behavior before, and it haven't came out yet, but he will come out, and you will see about this situation going out. And I don't care if nobody else defend her. As a black man, we must defend her because that's my sister, and that's wrong. And I wouldn't want that to be to any of my sisters to go through this. And I stay silent, like, because you're silent. If you're silent and you're just like approving this behavior, no, we must speak out and against this behavior. It is wrong. I think that he should be charged. I think that he should be arrested. I think he needs to sit down. I think he needs to learn his lesson, because if you don't teach him an example of this, what he did, he's going to do this again, because he was so comfortable in doing it. He was like so sneaky. He was just very comfortable, just went up and put his lips on her. And a lot of women that go through these type of behavior with guys of power do this things to women, and then they want women to be silent. And then you have people like Meek Mill that one day he want to be pro-black and conscious about, you know, the injustices of the criminal justice system, and then he go right back to that weird hood behavior. Oh, he's a young kid. No, he's not a young kid. He's an adult. He's an adult. And if he would have done that to a white girl, and that white girl would have went to her parents, he would have been locked up today. So all this whole behavior is he's a kid, and which is a whole base red line. A 24-year-old is not a kid. That's a grown man. A full grown man. He is 24 years old. He is not 14 years old. He's 24. So again, you can't do that at all. It is wrong. It needs to be called out. And I'm glad that he's getting dragged. I'm glad that black women.
Yeah, if he did that to a white woman or even some other black women, he would be locked up. He sure would. He would be locked up. The Me Too movement would have a field day with him. You know, but like he said, you know, we protect this type of behavior. You know, and it's getting where, I mean, pass it down from generation to generation. You know, like, it's okay. He's a kid. He didn't mean to do that. You know, he'll apologize and he won't do it again. And ain't no telling how, you know, he could have victimized family members. You never know. Could did this to another sibling or even a male. You know, he could be doing this to men, the younger men than him that look up to him. He could be what he doing, what's being done to him by those older gatekeepers. He could be exerting this behavior on not just other women, but men and children too. How we know? Monsters create monsters in the community. So, I mean, I agree. I agree with him, and it's good to see a man taking this stance.
Not all black women is against Sukihana. They're in the tweets. They're commenting. Thank you to the black women that are supporting me for standing up. They said, some black women said, it is so refreshing to see a black man stand up for a black woman. That's an honor to do that, because typically a lot of black men would say, oh, that's okay to do that. That's applauded. And then when things happen to a woman, they always try to go back to her past and discredit her. Oh, she did this. Okay, whatever. But we're talking about what happened to her at that basketball game. That is the subject. The subject is what that brother did to her was completely wrong. And that needs to be called out. This whole judging her about her body parts, I'm all fine with women talking about and rapping about their bodies. I think it's liberating. I think that brothers have always talked about their pain, about how they make women squirt, about having the H word, having H words around them, thoughts, whatever the type of words they describe about women. And we applaud that behavior and we rally behind that. But when women say, okay, I want to monetize about my body parts, oh, it's a problem. No, women should be able to talk, liberate, talk about the power of their body, the power of the P, the city girl era. They should be able to talk about them as well and show their art about their body, the same way brothers out here have been doing since the beginning of time, talking about how they aggressively in the bedroom, how they get on Percocets and make the yoni drunk, whatever lyrics that they come up with. But women should be able to have that same honor and respect to do what they have to do to talk to rap about that. But that still doesn't excuse you as a man to go up to that woman just because she rap about her body parts, that you could just go up to her and start kissing her. That's wrong. And it doesn't work, because she did not give you permission to do it. She was embarrassed, and now she's hurt because she really can't speak up, because people are going to drag her about her past, about what she did musically and about the lyrics that she made. So that's why she have to sit here and just be completely silent and don't say a word, have to deactivate and getting dragged, because the Black community typically, in this particular case, some of the women are really rallying behind OK Siris because of how he looks, and he is a man of power and a celebrity. He may not have $1 in the bank, but he have clout, and women will rally behind that. And that's how that goes. But again, we're standing against it. It was wrong, and I don't care when people are putting a narrative, because of her behavior. No, just because she rap about it doesn't excuse anybody to assault a person, period. All right? Even strippers, they strip. It doesn't give you the right to take advantage of that stripper and to, aggressively kiss her. No, she give you a lap dance. That's the boundary. That's it. I'm giving you a lap dance. That's it. That doesn't give you the right to start kissing me on my body, tongue kissing me, aggressively, forcefully injecting your flesh inside my flesh. Like, no. Inside my womb, no. That does not excuse that behavior. And so we must speak against that behavior and must call that behavior out. And that is why we are doing that in that type of way, because, again, we cannot play no games when it comes to stuff like that. We can't play these type of games. 1,000%, we can't do it. We will not do it. We will always call that behavior out, period. All right? Don't play no games like that. If you are the type of woman that is dealing with this behavior, you have to speak out to change the system. Being silent, you keep giving more oxygen to the system. Your voice actually drains out the oxygen and to change the system. More women need to start speaking out against this type of behavior, because typically women go through this and they suffer in silence. So hopefully Sukihana do speak up about it. I do believe she will do interviews about it. Now, if she do an interview about it, they're going to ask her those questions. At first, it was just asking her a question about her body parts, about her music. Now that is going to be up for a discussion. And now she's not just going to get urban blogs to talk about it. Mainstream outlets are going to put her on mainstream outlets, because it will be people that want her to be the poster child of Time's Up and Me Too. So she definitely are going to be on more mainstream. You will see her on Tamron Hall. You will see her on all these type of platforms talking about this. Of course, you'll see her on the Breakfast Club. But that she will be diving into this situation. And I can guarantee you she's going to probably share something that we never heard about her experiences, about how brothers have treated her in the industry. So I'm interested to hear her side of the story, and we are praying whenever she get the courage to speak up about what.
That's gonna be something to hear. Y'all know she probably done been. She done been through something in that industry, I'm sure. If it's like that in public, what he tried to do, you can imagine. And they in videos walking her like a dog. I couldn't do it. Lord knows, there's a lot of stuff I couldn't do. That's why I guess I'm not in that industry. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Lord knows I can't. It's some stuff I can't do for money. And it's not that they not bad people. It's nobody. They don't have the self love and self worth they should have for themselves to be, people that got them. That's what they do, get them caught up into that materialism and stuff like that. Some stuff you should be like, no, it's not even worth it. I'll just start my own. If it take me forever, then dang, I got my integrity. Yeah, sad, man.
What happened to her? I will be there to support her
Because you're
and to
priceless.
stand in her corner, because she deserves to be respected. All women deserve to be respected, no matter how they rap or sing. They does not deserve for you as a man to aggressively come up to them and starting to do things without their permission. Always, brothers, get the permission before you start kissing. Period. All right? Period. Okay. Now, I just had to say that. All right. If he did that in public, imagine what he does behind closed doors. I say that Candy from Escape was laughing about the man that was after Suki on her pocket. She was laughing. What he did was wrong, but she was too wrong for twerking. Yeah, but again, I'm not gonna get into in her past into that situation. I'm just not gonna get into her past when it comes to that situation. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna get into her past when it comes to that situation. No, I'm speaking about the subject today. The subject today is this man aggressively doing what he did to her. That is what I am on. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, Candy was up there laughing. I know I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw the part where Candy was up there laughing, and that man was being very, very invasive and disrespectful to her. Talking about you talk about her like a you talk about it in your song about what you gonna do. So how about we just go back there right now and I just stick my tongue out there. She said maybe during when we doing the thing, but not right now. Like I'm on an interview. I mean, whew, boy.
I am not about to talk about what she did in her past. What she did in her past. I'm not going to get into that. What I'm getting into is today what happened at that basketball game, period. That is a subject. That is what's in the news. That is what's being dragged. That is what's being talked about. And that is what needs to be addressed.
How we know she ain't in a relationship? How you gonna just walk up on somebody and just tone them down and grab them like that just because they were playing with you? She might got a man. They might be serious. They could have an understanding. Like, I've taught that talk and whatever, and I'm selling this music and stuff. I gotta do this for the industry, but baby, I love you. I'm not gonna let nobody touch me, or I belong to you. It is some men out there that it's not many. It's not many, but it might be a man out there that she got in her corner that might understand that. That might be her boo. You know what I'm saying? And for that to happen like that, that's very disrespectful. You don't know what somebody got going on. You don't just walk up on nobody and do all that. You know what I'm saying? She probably do got a man somewhere on the low. Somebody that she ain't putting up there. And, you know what I'm saying? She probably got somebody that she might got somebody she's serious with and everything. So that's just out of pocket. I think it is. I mean, I wouldn't like that at all.
Address. Let's focus on that subject. That subject is where it needs to be addressed. Okay? That was wrong. And that's very illegal. That is illegal to put your lips on somebody without their permission. When man on woman, man on man, woman on woman, you can't do that. You cannot forcibly go up to a man or a woman, invade their space, and start kissing them without their permission. That is illegal. It is illegal to do. You will be charged if you do that. Okay? She pulled away. You see it in the video.
They've been doing stuff like that to indigenous black women. They do it. It's even worse for these people and even other people in other environments that ain't even famous people. It's worse in behind closed doors. Shoot, it's worse. You got some people in relationships or whatever they got going on in hostile situations where if they don't let them do stuff like that to them, they beat them and drag them and torture them. All that. Shoot, it's a mess. It's a violence. It's a lot of violence against women in general. I ain't just talking about but them sisters. A lot of them they catch it. That's all they feel like they were put here for. A lot of them is just be touched on and fondled and blah, and assaulted or whatever. And they say no, they don't have a voice. And so even if that some of these people marry these people just or get a relationship with them so they could. You might be laying right in the bed with a rapist, and you think that he desires me so much. And he just you in a relationship with somebody like that. Hey, they don't can't get you. Can't get your hands up.
It's illegal to aggressively come up to a woman and say, okay, let me come up to you right now. Okay, let me come up to you. And no, you can't do that. You can't do that. That was wrong. And a lot of times these celebrities are so thirsty, like OK Siris, for attention that you were willing to break the law to get it. Because nobody was.
That's what I don't understand. If somebody explain to me, if you are a famous person and you got access to all these different people and stuff, why you have fantasy? I seen that too. I see it with my own eyes. I'm like, you be around millions of women, but you act like you just so thirsty and hungry to get up to, some cookies. But don't you have don't you have some restraining something to go on? I mean, you can't hold somebody that. Come on. That's why I just, I don't understand. Like, you got so much to lose. You got more to lose than this average person. But you ain't got no 7 8 that's everybody people to work on too. They don't work on what you call it, being supposed to be doing it. They're supposed to be doing that senior retention and all that. They're not doing none of that. They're not working on their discipline and stuff like that. They just like, you know what I'm saying? People like that, you can't trust them around children. You cannot trust them around little children. I'll be there for the dog. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying straight like that. You can't trust them.
Who's really talking about you? They don't talk about your music. And when you were being discussed a couple of months ago, you were being discussed of being Diddy Boy Tour. Yeah, when you were being discussed a couple of months ago, you were being discussed of being Diddy Boy Tour.
Sure was.
I think he was tired of those rumors. And then I think his baby mama actually said that he is gay. He's down low gay. And I think he's trying to cover it up by, let me go to the biggest woman that talk.
Yeah, he's having probably issues with his sexuality. I'm sure he is. He could have been abused too. Shoot. From years ago, I'm learning it ain't just the girls. It's the boys. It's the boys getting abused too. So he probably having an identity crisis. He trying to prove he a man, and then in this patriarchal society, the way a lot of them prove that they a man is being aggressive with a woman.
Talk about her body and let me start slobbing her down to get my street cred up. But you broke that.
Right.
So hopefully she press charges. I would press charges to send a signal. You just can't come up to women and start kissing her. Okay? You cannot just start massaging a woman, start massaging and all that. You can't do that. You gotta have, and women, you can't come up to a man and do it either. You gotta have respect for your other human, your fellow man.
Right.
You cannot, your fellow woman. You cannot come up to a woman and aggressively take advantage of her. That's wrong. And that's why it's disturbing me to a sense, because the narrative is they're dragging Sukihana and literally allowing the woman that was the victim, making her not the victim and making OK Siris the victim. And they're trying to paint this picture.
And that's what a lot of women do. And we wonder why we ain't protected and all that. We don't protect each other. We don't. We don't give a daggone about the next woman. It's all about us getting under a man and he didn't mean to do it and I've seen it all my freaking life. I be like, girl, do you realize they don't give a damn about us? Like, we gotta stick together. Oh, the man. Oh, I'm the man. This man. That man is not stunning. Yeah, he might stick me in the back. He's gonna stick you in the back too. Man, you ain't got no respect because we do not demand respect, and we don't pull together. We throw each other. We throw other women right under the bus because, oh, he didn't mean to do it, girl. You need to forgive him, and you need to be a little more understanding and nicer to that man. That's how that's how they teach us to be floor mats.
No, absolutely not. He's a grown man. He made a grown man decision, and it was a wrong decision, and it was also illegal, and it was a crime.
We coddle them too much. Some other cultures ain't gonna play with them like that. That we coddle them too much. Like when that man went over there to China and did that to that lady, he gone. He went over there to China and assaulted that lady that he was in a relationship with. He, abused her or whatever. You know what they did? No, he didn't just abuse. He deleted her. You know what they did? He thought he was gonna come back over to America, I guess, and go do life. No, they within a few months they got him. They did a firing squad on him. They don't play. Them other coaches don't play when you do stuff to their women. Psh, you think they're gonna play? Look at what's called the famous guy John Mathers. I don't know if that was a setup or what, but they ain't playing with him. They ain't playing with him when it comes to when it comes to their women. We the only people that play, and we the only people that play and let our girls and children and boys and little girls and let our women be exploited and abused and assaulted it's all right. Jesus gonna fix it. We the only ones that do some mess like that in this country. Now other countries, them third world countries, it's a lot of mess that go on, but people ain't playing by their people. People ain't playing. No, we created this environment.
It was a crime, and so we stand by her. And we will continue to speak about this subject when more information comes, because it's just needed. It's really, really needed. And I had to stick on that. All right. Okay. Now I had to do that. Also, let's get into this other subject here. Now, y'all know who Mr. Beast is. Do y'all know who he is?
Yeah, he's about to talk about that.
He has more subscribers on YouTube, period. Millions.
Yeah, all we do is all we trying to worry about is R. Kelly when it's a whole group of them people. R. Kelly had help, you know what I'm saying? This another thing I want to talk about. Yeah, hey, Mr. Beast. He from Greenville, North Carolina, y'all. Greenville, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. One of my family members, they met him, and some of my neighbors, they was at the places that he be giving out. He always doing stuff, but yeah, like with the R. Kelly thing, them women were pimping their daughters out and stuff like that, and they go on not in just levels like R. Kelly. It goes on with higher level people like what is it? Not higher level, but poorer people that's middle class and lower class, where they pimping their daughters out, and then when the man don't pay them up enough, they're gonna get them for statutory rape. You didn't pay me this money. I'm calling the police on you because I'm gonna tell them that you've been messing with my little girl. But they ain't telling the police that they was all involved in it and collecting some money and stuff, getting that man disability check. It's some nasty, it's some wicked stuff that go out. I'm telling you, child. It's a mess, but okay. Well, he's talking about it, so we'll just add to this.
It's hundreds of millions of subscribers. He's the most subscribed channel on YouTube. Makes millions of dollars a month. Mr. Beast does a competition, multiple competitions on the show. But apparently he did a competition on his. He's taping a competition. Multiple of the contestants were injured. Seriously injured. We heard reports, shout out to TMZ, they reported about multiple injuries. We also hearing that taping have resumed. A couple of people are taking legal actions. He does have insurance. I did hear about that. He does have insurance.
Mr. Beast.
He will have to pay.
Mr. Beast got way more than insurance. Mr. Beast about $1 billion there, ain't y'all? Then they say he building a block in New York. He building a block in the neighborhood where he live in for his employees outside of Greenville too, isn't he? Mr. Beast he definitely got insurance to cover that. And how he gets his he got like millions and millions of, he got like millions and millions of followers. He does these activities and he's a philanthropist and helps out in the community, giving people stuff. That's the level I want to get to. Maybe not that big, but just be able to expand to be able to just help on that scale, where I can just change people's lives, but I know Mr. Beast was just in the news about his I know people been talking about how his best friend what's his name, because I know his name's Jimmy, right? His friend had transitioned over to becoming a woman, and he had a wife and a son, I think, and I'm sure that was hard because they were friends for so long. So he was stuck in between the choice of, because a lot of people that watch him, they probably ain't gonna go for that. So I know that was hard. I think that guy took a break or something. So that was smart on his part. I think allegedly, the guy took a break because They was like he need to take a break because Mr. B shouldn't have to fire him because he should be enough of a friend to walk away because that changes the whole dynamics of Mr. B's show. But yeah, he got insurance, boy. He got a lot more than insurance. Somebody told me though that they went to his house. He was mean, but he probably was just acting like that because he know he big time and he probably was just acting like that. You know how people. Somebody said they said he's an asshole, but
out of his
I don't know that.
some settlements because a couple of the contestants were injured. A lot of people love his channel because, like I said, his demographic is. Sometimes I watch his show. He have a great product. I believe it's refreshing to see. Also, I love to watch his content. It's inspiring. Most of his content is now he can able to fund it, and get multiple cameras, productions. It's all type of things he's able to do. He don't just do content. He don't do content in his home talking about celebrities. No, he's have a worldwide view of this type of situation. Like he just have a worldwide view of this, and so most people like him. When you do those shows, you sound like the release forms, and of course you have to have insurance because sometimes those competitions will go wrong, and so you want to make sure that you're insured if somebody were to get injured, so you can pay it back. Most of the competition show, like when you go to these competition shows, when you jumping off a building, or when you eating weird stuff, or if you choke, then most of those places have liability insurance. So if anything comes up, you're pretty much you're suing the insurance company. So he's pretty much good in that regard. And I don't think he's going to lose any respect because now that some of the contestants were injured, more people are going to tune into the video. I'm even interested once that video drops, it's going to be more eyeballs to the product, and that's going to help him get more money. I believe this probably will be one of his most viewed videos in a long time. And he gets on average millions of views. Millions literally millions of views. And like I said, I am a fan of his work. I like to see what he does and how he builds.
Because he be doing stuff. Like he don't just, like he said, he gonna say it. He ain't just sitting there talking. That's how I am. That's how I want to do more. Like actually showing the viewers what I'm doing and showing them that I'm feeding people and I'm working in the community and the things I'm doing. Like, yeah, he's actually not just sitting, talking. That, and I don't either, but I gotta start actually streaming what I actually do. Yeah, I do. I gotta take y'all on the road with me.
This, how he helped people and all this. It was another YouTuber. He decided to run for mayor in the UK, I believe in London. I believe so. So I love to watch that type of content, you know what I'm saying? Outside of just watching celebrity content. Like, I don't watch it as much. I typically watch other things. Like, I don't really watch other YouTubers. Like, even with the Sukihana piece, I could just look at the title and see where you're going with it. Because some people just give it away what they're talking about in the title. So I don't have to really click their videos. Sometimes I really don't, because I want my opinion to be. And sometimes you will get the same opinion, because some topics you talk about, you will get the same opinion. But Mr. Beast is somebody that we should look up to. But I also would love to see more African Americans, get into that space where they're getting hundreds of millions of subscribers as well.
Okay,
it's challenging because of the marketplace.
Fast forward too.
I'm going to address it. Then it becomes bigger. Then you introduce. But if you don't want to give it no energy, you don't have to give it no energy. You can just complete things he's able to do. It's a market for that. It's a market for that, and people will support it. And then also we do have successful Black YouTubers, but they're not the most. He also said it was such a random night, but
I love Honey.
Oh Lord!
Everything from proposals, contracts, payments,
I won't even
on one platform.
Ran into the security and just
this is talking about Summer Walker guy talking about. I don't even know. I love her. I love her music. I don't know her as a person. I love her music. Some of it now, but some of that music, you gotta be careful, But I do like that. I do like a number of her songs. I really do. But I don't listen to everything, because I don't be vibing with that. I ain't hurting and all in that sorrow mode and stuff like that. I'm looking for the, sometimes you gotta look from within. I like what he gonna say. I gotta let y'all hear this too. I like to look from within myself. I'm not looking for nobody to save me. I know I'm my own savior. But she's with. I won't even gonna say nothing about this, but she's with Big Meat's son, Little Meat. I mean, I'm gonna let him say it. I can't say no more. I'm gonna just let him do the talking. I'll talk later because I.
Even have a conversation. Stop sending me the ish. It's dead.
So the woman is telling Summer Walker. The woman is telling Summer Walker to stop messing with her. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I ain't gonna screen the man whole thing, but he got some good stuff up here. Yeah.
Say hello, sis. Welcome to Toronto. Okay. I said, I don't know how y'all know each other. And I believe this is Summer Walker. Let me go up to brought you exclusive Summer Walker and Lil Meech dating now. Unfortunately, we have to bring you the latest on these two. A woman was on live singing and having fun with one of her fans. Notice she's wearing a Lil Meech BMF chain. Next thing you know, the blogs get a hold of the picture. The woman then reached out to Summer Walker to explain that the bodyguard of Lil Meech gave her the chain to put it on so that she could, in other words, floss a little. So she reached out, said, hello, sis, welcome to Toronto. Hello, how do y'all know each other? Hey, love, this is the side chick. Hey, love. First off.
Okay, yeah, this is talking about, so I won't even gonna get into this. Summer Walker done caught Little Meech allegedly cheating with some lady. That's what they talking about. I don't know why she put this on the internet about this man. I would have just honestly, I would have just held my head down and I would have just acted like nothing was going on and just do like Rihanna be doing, or the rest of them, the Beyonce and them, unless I'm ready to make a song about it, and then I make a song about that shit. But all this, that man, Big Meat's little son, do you really, like he gonna say, do you really think these dudes that you choosing gonna be faithful to you? Why did they? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why she keep taking these street guys and think they're gonna be faithful to her, and she can make them into the man she want. You can get, it's nothing. It's a bottomless pit. I mean, don't she understand by now? Like, it don't matter how good you look, how good you are to them. It does not matter. You can take the man out of the street, but you cannot take the street out of the man. It don't matter what you do, honey. That's a way of life. And I don't even say that because I know I don't be. I like them there. If they ever been a street, I ain't gonna say the word I'm gonna say. If they've ever been a street nigga that got me, it's because they pretended not to be for a long time. Cause I ain't with that. I don't. It don't make me get wet for to be calling no man, calling me, talking about he done got in trouble and he done wrecked my car and he done got caught pop with some drugs. That ain't a turn on to me. Ain't never been. I don't want to be connected to no mess like that. I ain't never want to be connected to no mess like that. That's shame. That's embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't get it. They always pretended to be good, like they're gonna be decent and wholesome to mess with me, and then I find out the dirt later on. Cause back in them, like I said, I'm still young, but some of them areas we didn't have the internet where we could look these people up and stuff and see how they, what kind of criminal activity and stuff they was doing. But now, it's all out there. You got, if they in that street like now, boy, whoo. If they in that street like now, he trying to prove that he like Big Meech and he Little Meech and he keep getting caught. Daddy, like he say, that Daddy had a long run before getting caught, but the son ain't having that. We in 2023. You can't do them same crimes. Now them they own it. They know what time it is.
You supporter of me and Han don't know each other at all. My apology if you feel disrespected. I can take the videos down if you like. I'm not that type of woman. Me and him. Okay, she had a typo, but Summer Walker responded, "You don't have to take them down, but if y'all..."
And these women get with these side chicks and tell them all their business and stuff and be like, "Look, if that woman, if she say something to you, I'll look out for you. Now I got you. I'll bring you a bag through every time you call, and we'll kick it, and I'll give you throw you some money and stuff. Just keep it on the hush. That lie if you got to. Them. Come on now. Them street men got that kind of game. You think that woman looking like I was with him all weekend, but I ain't gotta know. Ain't nobody gotta know. That woman don't want to be bothered. She got other stuff going on, and you sitting here, you bringing when I was a teenager, now I used to do stuff like that, but I learned that I ain't calling no. I'm not about to be like, hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. Please. What good do that? And then you already you a big celebrity. That make. I'm gonna just let him say.
Y'all don't know each other. How you in with his chain on? She also said it was such a random night, but I ran into the security and just asked to try it on. Meech and I didn't even have a conversation. Stop sending me the ish. It's dead. I had no conversation with Meech. Oh wait, this way. She said Meech and I didn't have a conversation on God. Then Summer Walker said, so you happen to be in the car, no conversation. I had no conversation with me. Okay, I'm saying no. So how you get in the car, LOL, with no conversation? I spoke with security. I was in the car with security. Him or just security? Only security. Okay. So then the article goes to say, well, some are asking questions and the story just didn't make sense at all. Now, we all have seen Lil Mish with security. We have always seen him with the chain on that's bigger than his body. I just can't, for the life of me, see him taking it off for the bodyguard to hold. But Summer Walker seemed to believe her man, and as usual, like she have done with all her men, she's standing beside him. Later, the female texted her IG story and spilled the beans that Mish was with her. Lil Mish even asked her to lie. Summer, you got to be crazy. But anyway, take a look below. Then this is one of this. I think Lil Mish said this. Okay, I could do that. Can you make the post clarifying that it's not me in the club? I appreciate it. And then the side chick responds to Lil Mish, I'm gonna just say that you're friends because I don't want them doing no extra ish. I'll cash up you. Oh wait. Okay. So no. Then he responded to the side chick. He said, I'm gonna just say that you're friends because I don't want no, like, I cash up you for making the post. Please do it ASAP. And then the side chick said, LOL, I'm not ugly, first off. Second, the security definitely got no action. Cut it out. Third, that's not play dumb. When you call Summer on FaceTime, who did you take upstairs to the Ritz? Okay. So I'm telling you, but I want to dive into this because I want to be honest. You women, I don't know. Like, y'all, some of these women don't care if a man cheat. And then y'all go to the side chick, ask all these questions, trying to be a detective. You already know the answer to. You know your man is cheating. If the woman got on his chain, how do you get in the chain? You know he's smashing. He's not going to be committed to you. This brother got all this fame. Then he got the street cred of his father being a leading drug dealer, right? And now he got all this BMF series fame. He's not going to be committed to you, Summer Walker. Absolutely not. He's just not. And let's be honest with that. And it's okay. Stop trying to make a whore into a husband. You can't. No matter how.
So he said it. He said that, you cannot make a whore into a housewife. I don't understand why she keep going through this with these men or whatever. Like he's saying, he gonna say later on, she need to get her a man that's a nerd or a banker or something. They can still make you feel good in the bedroom too, instead of going through all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what she got going on, but anyway, we're gonna get into talking about the Crown Act. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, we better get past this.
A bill to ban race-based hair discrimination in Texas schools, workplaces, and housing is one step closer to the governor's desk. Today, the Texas House overwhelmingly passed the Crown Act. Adam Bennett live in West Houston with more. And Adam, the bill now heads to the Texas Senate.
That's right, Reka. So far, 20 states.
The Crown Act was just passed in Texas a few days ago. I think it was on the the 12th or something like it was. It was just a few days ago. And this act is for the indigenous black people to be able to wear their natural hair and stuff in school and jobs and not be discriminated against. Now this is something I'm gonna talk a little bit about it.
States have passed the Crown Act. Today, Texas took a major step toward becoming the 21st, and it's a move inspired in part by a story out of the Houston area.
He should not have to go through this.
In January 2020, a local story about Mont Bellevue teen DeAndre Arnold
We're here about DeAndre, but it's bigger than DeAndre.
drew national attention.
I just am urging you to do the right thing.
Arnold was suspended for the length of his locks and told he couldn't walk at graduation unless he cut them. District leaders said it violated their grooming code, but Arnold said his locks were part of his Trinidadian culture and heritage. He transferred schools and filed a lawsuit that's still ongoing. Now, 3 years later, the rules on hair could be changing statewide.
Have all members voted?
Today, the Texas House voted 141-3 to approve House Bill 567. It bans discrimination in employment, housing, or education based on hair texture or protective hairstyle, commonly or historically associated with race.
For me personally, it feels good for people like me.
DeAndre Arnold spoke with me after the vote from LSU, where he's now a junior studying to become a veterinarian.
It shows that we're making some sort of progress towards a better society and just better living for Black people as a whole.
This happened to students like DeAndre Arnold.
Today, the bill's author brought up Arnold's story alongside others to illustrate why she believes change is needed.
It will help to reduce disparities in school discipline and lets our children feel like they can show up to school looking the way God made them.
And Arnold's cousin was also suspended from school for the same reason. Meanwhile, tomorrow, advocates will be headed to the state capitol to push the full and final passage of this bill this session. Reka?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't even be something that has to be passed. Why do they have to pass something for people to be able to wear what they were born with? It's 2020. You know they don't make no sense. There's no way nobody should have to be passing a law where indigenous Black people can wear their own hair. And they wonder why, a lot of the women and stuff are into the European beauty hair standards and stuff, and beauty standards, because it's been look, the naturalness of the indigenous Black woman has been looked at as unattractive, so they have brainwashed us through the patriarchy and stuff that want to be wearing if you missed it, it was just talking about the law that was passed in Texas, the Crown Act. Governor Abbott passed it a few days ago, that is actually legal for indigenous or Black people to wear their natural hair. They can't be discriminated against via schools and employment. From the little boy in 2020 that wasn't able to graduate from his school because of his locks, or he wasn't able to, they were hindering him from doing stuff, and he transferred out to another school, and he's also in college now trying to become a veterinarian at UCLA. DeAndre, the guy, do you remember when it happened a few years ago in 2020 with a little boy, they wanted him to cut his locks off? So Governor Abbott passed the Crown Act, and like I said, we shouldn't even have to. How you gotta pass an act for people to wear what they were born with, and for an act to be passed and this was illegal for us to wear, it must be something it must be some power to our hair and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Must be something with that if it's illegal for you to wear your natural hair, what you're born with. I tell you, boy. Anyway, so that's wild. So now we're gonna talk about if I can bring something up about that. I want to talk about the aid in North Carolina. I'm from Eastern North Carolina originally. I was born near Greenville, or in Greenville, and I was raised up around the Aden, Winterville area. But back in 1970,
This I wasn't born in 1970. I was born later on, but this is like shortly after Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and them were assassinated. There was a shooting where a state trooper. Let me see if I can bring something up about it. Mike can, or Mike can bring up the Google thing. Oh, this is Google. Man, it might be in Google. I got it on my phone. Let's see. So it was a trooper that shot a black man. And I'm trying to see if it's on. I don't think it's on YouTube. Yeah, I can bring up the article. But anyway, these students at University of North Carolina, they start riot because of that. And it was a lot of shootings back then. Yeah, here it is. Maybe it's on there. It's not coming up. Yeah, here we go. Well, I don't see any pictures with this one. Okay, well, I'll just share that then. And I'll try to see if I can. Okay. Okay. It's the Black Student Movement, North Carolina newspaper. This happened in 1970. It said, page 4, Black Ink's Pitt County Grand Jury to probe Aiden killing, reprinted from the Daily Tar Heel. A special session of the Pitt County and jury Monday will investigate the death of William Murphy. That was the guy named Aiden back in the 1970s. It says a black farm laborer slain by a highway patrolman in August. Murphy's death has prompted several protests, resulting in more than 900 arrests, including 25 UNC students. The students face trial today in Pitt County for violating a parade ordinance and have indicated they will ask for a continuation until after exams. The special session was ordered this week by Superior Court Judge Robert Rouse. Rouse called for the probe to determine if there is probable cause for accusation of criminal conduct in connection with Murphy's death. Rouse ordered is part of a ruling in which he denied a petition by the Greenville American Civil Liberties Union to make public the confidential State Bureau of Investigation report into the Murphy death. About 62 protesters arrested in the past week in Greenville, North Carolina, site of the beginning of a proposal week-long march to Raleigh. Oh, so they was marching back then. They was marching from, wow, what? They was marching, wait. They was about 62 protesters arrested in the past week in Greenville site at the beginning of a proposed week-long march to Raleigh. Maybe they was driving to Raleigh. Ain't no way they could have. No, they was driving. They were sentenced to 3 days in jail for failing to heed a parade ordinance. Murphy was slain by a highway patrolman, Billy Day, who was cleared of any criminal charges by the SBI investigation and a coroner's report. James Monroe, I'm ashamed of my passivity, November 21st, 1970, saw brother James Case stabbed repeatedly on the University of North Carolina campus by a white motorcyclist known as a stormtrooper. This act of overt aggression was done in the presence of hundreds of UNC students, and the campus pig's brother ate bled for 30 minutes outside the Carolina Union while the campus pigs looked on. Kate's death was definitely unnecessary. Kate's death was without provocation. Kate's murderer were set free by Orange County. Wow, that's in Chapel Hill. I, for one, am ashamed and hurt at my own passive actions. It took Attica, Wilman, and Aiden to make me realize that white people do not need a license to murder blacks. We must wake up from this nightmare and open our eyes, black people. We must realize this was back in 1970 that when this evidently they killed the Murphy man. William Murphy was shot in the back in Ada, North Carolina, and then this other person was James Case was stabbed to death repeatedly on the University of North Carolina campus by a, a troop. Was it a trooper named Stormtrooper? Repeatedly, and the person didn't even get in trouble for it. The man, they said the guy just bled out. These black students on UNC campus, they just got tired and they just rose up and started, trying to do what they could to fight back, because they said, they realized at that point, once that thing after they stabbed that man on the campus, it was the Billy Day that had shot the William Murphy and Aiden in the back. Once that happened, after the stabbing of the James Case on UNC campus, that those students said, we realized that we don't have a chance, like they can just kill us at bay. That was back in around November 19th of 1971, and it was called the Black Students Movement. The African American Society of Chapel Hill High School, and the general community joined together to let the man know we care. We know that Case is not forgotten and that racism is never going to be forgotten. After weeks of planning, these was high school students in Orange County. I thought it was okay. The UNC was involved in it too. So after weeks of planning, 300 blacks gathered at the statue of Silent Sam with colors of liberation draped over the "You especially need you when you ain't got nobody else" symbol. Black people had gathered to protest the death of Case and the racism that exists in this country. Ron Weston, former chairman of the Black Student Movement, informed the people about the details of the march and asked who killed James Case. William Murphy, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. Weston. Malcolm X. Okay. Who killed James Case? So they was all fueled up. So this is not long after the assassination of they put those men, that James Case and William Murphy, right in there with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Weston then asked them where they were, and when Case's death occurred, Sandra Clark of the Chapel Hill High School Afro-American Society spoke of the firebombing incident following Case's death. She expressed concern for the arrested brothers and questioned the validity of the arrest period. After the speakers, the brothers and sisters turned and marched. The onlookers were shocked as we chanted, "Power to the African people." We marched down Franklin and Cameron Streets. Yeah, I used to live over there. And then on to the pit. We arrived at the pit around 12:30. What? Wait a minute. I know these people did not walk from all the way. Come on now. Wait. I know they didn't march from no Chapel Hill all the way to no Pitt County. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Look, we gotta get strong in there. They did all that back then, boy. We some punks. Hey, I'm reading this. This is my first time reading this. This is. I mean, I've been looking over, but this is the. Wait a minute.
So they said they marched all the way to, come on, man, they got that 1236, and the brother Reverend C.L. Hilton told people,
we were not responsible for the problem. We would not be responsible for the solution. The chairman of the BSM, Jimmy McRae, then traced the plight of black people in America. He ended his speech by saying, when we look at UNC, we see an institution which leeches off the community. And as long as UNC continues to be a racist institution, we will condemn it for what it is, from a what? From A&T State University, former BSM chairman Curtin Johnson told the people to wake up and forget thinking racism would just fade away. He said, only by fighting the man we can ever hope of winning our freedom and protecting our people. After this series of speakers, we heard some beautiful selections from the BSM Gospel Choir. They enchanted the brothers and sisters with their songs of pain and hope. We were indeed honored by the efforts of contributions. The Reverend Leon White, North Carolina Executive Director of the Commission for Racial Justice, quotes verses from the Bible calling for revolution and used these verses to inspire black people to move on. Reverend White made the brothers and sisters proud to be black, dealing with the idea of black people voting. White said, white people tell black people to get out and vote and use their black power, but black people know that voting for the devil ain't black power. But enslavement, our last speaker was Brother Bernard Lee, assistant to Reverend Ralph Abernathy. We were not responsible for the problem, and we will not be responsible for the solution. Reverend C.L. Hilton, who told black people they are heirs to the kingdom of God, he urged black people to give up a semester of study and to devote it to fight for freedom. Brother Lee, an integrationist, told black people to lock arms with their white brothers and fight together for equality. As the forum came to a close, a silent prayer was said in the name and memory of Brother Case. Brother Bruce Sampson closed the program with, you can kill a revolution. What? You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. Oh, okay. Okay. Say you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. Pitt County Movement comes to Carolina by Doris Stiff, managing editor. More than 200 persons participated in a rally held in the UNC Pitt on Wednesday, November 10th. The rally organized to protest of police brutality in Pitt County and Aden, North Carolina, which has gone without redress. Featured such speakers as Donovan Phillips, Golden Franks, and Jerry Paul. Golden Franks is field secretary for SCLC, the Southern, the Southern Carolina, that where Martin Luther King was in, the SCLC, and has been active in the Pitt County movement since the slaying of a black farm laborer, William Murphy, by Highway Patrolman Billy Day on August 6, 1971. Billy Day is a murderer. He's teaching self-defense right here in the Institute of Government, said Franks. He advocated that day he fired and that all policemen be given psychological tests before they become police. Franks went on to say that they would continue to march and demonstrate and tell the story until justice was done. So they've been doing this a long time. Wow. So what happened was William Murphy was a black farm laborer who was shot and killed on August 6th by a white highway patrolman on a rural road 2 miles south of Aden. On disagreed with Day's account of the incident. A black witness testified that Murphy was handcuffed when apprehended and had limited means of defense. They consider the trial and decision unfair and quartering have been. My marching today is only with the beginning. A black marcher September 25th, the coroner's jury ruled that they shot Murphy, and they ruled that that man was shot and that trooper shot him in self-defense. They testified before a coroner jury that he arrested Murphy for public drunkenness. What? Inside the car. According to Day, a struggle began which resulted in Day shooting Murphy in the stomach. The black community Aiden protesting in the eastern North Carolina town of Aiden, Farmville. Oh, they was protesting in Bethel, Farmville, and Aiden. 25 UNC students were arrested in Aiden for violating a town ordinance for parading. The group was arrested while marching to Aiden to mail a letter to Governor Robert Scott demanding that an investigation be held. Wow. That's wow. So, back in the 70s in Aiden, this was going on. I'm gonna put this was going on. They were marching because not long before that, it was the assassination of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and then this man got shot. He was in handcuffs, and he got shot in the back by a trooper. And the trooper claimed the man was drunk in the car, and it was a struggle. But a witness said there's no way it was a struggle because the man was in handcuffs. And from what I read in the other article, you can look this up. It's called it's one with the New York Times too. It's called the Aiden, North Carolina shooting of Murphy Williams. Yeah, Murphy Williams. But yeah, they said in that other article that it was just as bad back then as it was in Mississippi. Said it was that racist in that area of Pitt County. It was very racist and stuff like that. The environment, and as we see. And today, fast forward, it's still a lot. Racism been around for a long time. They say it started with sexism, where they was oppressing the women because it was the mother goddess, and they took the women and the mother goddess down, and then they oppressed the women. Then it went to racism, and now we're looking at all of them mixed together. We got racism, sexism, racism, and classism, and it's all a part of the patriarchy and stuff, So it's just good. I guess to cure this stuff, we have to start knowing what unconditional love is and pulling together as a community of women. It looked like I don't know. I guess we just gonna have to do the opposite of hate. And hate is what's helping fuel the system and division. So unity and love, that might be something to weaken it even more, where it can't, continue on like we can't continue on like this. It's come to a head. It's so much violence and hate in the world, and it's not a good place to raise children. Like, and the children are, we gotta have children to carry on the future. So it's just sad. It's sad that all these years and all this time, it's still just now illegal. It's now just legal for indigenous black people to wear their hair, and it's still racism. I ain't saying all police are bad. They're not. They're not. You got some good ones, but back in the day, I mean, during some eras, it seemed like they weren't like they are now. They may have been worse than during the KKK and the 70s and all that. They were, they was horrible, but it was a time when you could talk a little junk to them. They wouldn't try to delete you. But see, now these cops now, some of them, no, because there's some good ones. And the way they letting criminals in here through the borders and stuff like that, and then it's people that's in the communities that have no regard for the law. So we do need to be. We ain't at the point where we can police ourselves as a community, and it would be nice if we could. But we do need the law, but we do need better officers and stuff like that. That's need to be, not getting a job just because they want to cause harm or whatever. So we do need we do need the laws of the land, but it's just we don't need for them to be using that badge to oppress and harm certain diversities and groups of people. And what I want to bring up is this here. I know I can find this. I got to bring this up, and I'm glad I thought about it. Okay, I got to bring this up. Got to bring it up. Got to bring it up. Please let it still be up here. It smells like something burning in here. I ain't burning nothing. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, this is very interesting. If I can find it, this will be a treat. They might have taken it down. How did I'm gonna bring this up. Please let this lady be in here. They could have took it down though, but they might didn't. Yeah, they might did. Wish I could have. How can I bring his picture up? I don't want to see that. I'm trying to bring up this lady. This is a white lady. She done her research on this. Where is she at? Oh, that's not it. Oh man, I can't find it. Maybe I'm looking wrong. I would have looked for it earlier, but if I don't find it, we'll go on to the next subject. I don't want this. I want that lady, that professor. Yeah, they could have took that down. That was that was deep. Shit. I won't be using that. They might have took it down. How the government created the ghetto. No, that's not it. They took that down probably. Oh well. I can't find that anyway. Go to the next thing. What? This is
and welcome to the channel.
This Miss Lowdown talking about Bootsie badass. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna bring the other one up too while they say what really happened, but this is the engine. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But we know Bootsie just got caught with we know Bootsie just got caught with some guns, right? And what was he in San Diego, right? And I don't I know he was he how can I say it? I listen. I used to listen to Boosie. I did. I used to listen to him, but I hadn't listened to him in the last few years. But some of his songs with Webby was kind of cool. But what really got me is Marlo Mike and how that baby mama was talking about years ago. How they say allegedly Boosie deleted like 9 people, even the girl, even his baby mama brother, and he got that little boy. Now this is all alleged. This is what I've heard and the thoughts and opinions of Moon Goddess 777. But we know Boosie about that life. But then again, if he paying little kids and stuff to do stuff like that, and then somebody paid that little boy $25 or $1,600. And then the little boy told on him. Allegedly they say Boosie told him that if he don't take the charges, he'll get rid of that boy whole family and stuff like that. Which I don't know. It's just alleged. This is alleged for entertainment, spiritual, teaching purposes. But every time you turn around, you see Boosie. He's speaking out about stuff. He spoke out a lot about he be on Dwayne Wade and them about their child, the transgender thing. And Boosie recently got on the Old Town Road guy too. He was like, he being up there nigga, and for charity, he need to go and let them rappers and stuff go and do what they need to do to him. I ain't gonna say exactly what he said, but he got a little vulgar with it. He be pissed off by that gay thing about them children them being them letting them kids be like that. So Boosie was like, what? Like, you let a child, he need to wait till he an adult, but that don't make no sense. And then he was just talking about Dwayne Wade, them parties they claim that they allegedly be having in their house and stuff like that. And then y'all know Boosie was building a neighborhood in Louisiana, right? Boosie was also talking about becoming an attorney. Boosie has started a project of building a neighborhood in Louisiana. Yeah, he was actually like doing it, like building or whatever. But I think what got him is they said it was allegedly V-Lab interview, but he was talking a lot on that math. What is it? The last interview he went on with Math Hoffman or somebody. Math Hoffman, I think that's the name. And they asked him those questions that guy was asking him. Was like, if you have a gun, who gonna take the charge if you get pulled over and you got 5 people in the car? I was like, what? Now, come on now. Boosie should have known better than to be answering stuff like that. And he know he's a felon, and he know he don't supposed to be carrying no weapons. And you know you can't have no weapons like that, especially in places like San Diego, California and stuff. So I'm like, what the heck? Boosie, I'd have been like, man, what the heck? Ain't answering that he should have been like, I ain't answering them questions. But Boosie was doing a little bit of talking. I don't know how Boosie grew up. I know the culture of some of those Louisiana people. They come up rough and they kind of hard and tough and thuggish and stuff. Not everybody, but some of them they kind of had it hard. It's no excuse, But you can take the man out of the street, but you can't take the street out of the man. When Boosie is always, that man. He has a lot of Scorpio placements. He's not just a Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon, Scorpio Venus, Pluto and stuff. So that Scorpio, that's that's the energy of life, death, rebirth, transformation. So you know, he said he was wanting to be in a criminal lawyer. I think he would make an awesome criminal lawyer with all the stuff he done been involved in, and you know, with him being a Scorpio like that, he know how to get deep in that darkness. Now, I ain't saying that it's, you know, I hated it for the families, and you know, if he was involved in those people, getting rid of those people, that's really sad. But you know, um, it's a lot of other people that's done, even though, yeah, he has allegedly, you know, put hits out on people, but it's a lot of people, y'all, that done worse than him, that's in these higher political seats that they ain't got their karma yet. They've been doing this mess for a long time, and they still doing this. So I'm wondering, like, you know, everybody's saying that he getting his karma, but I'm wondering, like, when these people gonna get taken out, because they hurting children. And not saying that he's right, because he ran his mouth a lot. I feel like that, and he said on that show just less than 48 hours before they got him that he's good now, and he's making money from the podcast, and how they can't get him and all this and that. Now he in there, you know, he's in a mess, you know, and I feel for the brother. I know he might have committed wrongs and stuff, but I know, you know, he might. Whew, it's just a tough. They say they in there chasing Marlo Mike around, torturing him for what Bootsie did. So you know, everybody got to pay the piper, and yeah, karma is a bitch. But I'm just wondering, like, did they want to go and get him out of the way so they get him in a corner where he can talk to, because he connected to, allegedly connected to, every time he turn around, they say he connected to know something about MO3. You know, then he knows something about Duke the Jew, round Duke the Jew, and then they said King, he was supposed to meet King Von when he got deleted. I mean, and then won't he ain't he involved with the CEOT? Oh, and then won't he get ready to go down there after Young Dolph got deleted? And that's my boy, rest in peace, Flipper. Won't he get ready to go down there to Memphis to start a company, see another CM? Boosie be involved in too much stuff though, yo. I'm telling you. I mean, and then they said his songs in his music, y'all. He be talking about Marlo Mike and how he said they all gotta get out of here today. I just gonna tell them. Why do they let their music incriminate them, and why? Why? And then they say what really, really got him is when he was on. He got the gun charge, right? And then he was on IG not long ago. It was on Meta. I'm gonna tell y'all. He was on IG. You got probably go look at it. His people ain't took it down. Bootsie was on IG on May the 6th. He had that gun on the hanging out the back of his pants. Now this is what Miss Lowdown was saying today, and you can go over there and look at her, Miss Lowdown. He had that gun hanging out the back of his pants on IG on May the 6th, and the San Diego PD was watching the IG, and that's how they got him, and that's why they dropped it. They said they got it proof. They got it. They got it on Instagram. See, these people, they be recording themselves too much, doing the stuff they do. And you know them, 12 be on watching this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They be watching and listening. And you know, they probably were waiting to get him because he, every time you turn around, Boosie, he involved in you got Duke the Jewel, and he's supposed to met King Von to do some music when he got deleted. And, you know, he uh, what is that guy name? MO3. He was, somebody sent him footage of that, and he was gonna go to Memphis when Dolph passed and all this and that. And then then he have some connection with the CEOTs together. Just, they said that was because of, they are taking, allegedly, these are all we're saying, thoughts of Moon Goddess 777. It's not that I I'm just I'm an observer, and these are my own thoughts. They saying that since it's taking them so long to get the people for dogs, somebody taking street justice into their hands now, and I don't know. It's a lot with that, but I heard through the grapevine that the people that we said was involved, them cookie people and all them, they are involved. Now this is alleged. This is the opinions of Moon Goddess. This is not. This is what I allegedly heard that them they was all in a meeting in Miami in 20 what? It was 2020 2021 on it. And it was all at that place and they some of them saying, oh, I was down there seeing Benzino, but they was all actually at a location planning uh Young's Dolph demise. And that's so sad because he was doing stuff in the community. I think they said he had property and stuff too, and trying to buy back the block and stuff like that. But I heard that when somebody with that Young Dolph on a little weight, he had some paper and look some power. I heard that once they get rid of somebody like him, they have to get permission from a higher up. So these little people like the Cookie Monster people and these little people running around like straight dropping those that group, I don't really but I know I like Young Dolph because of what really got me with him is when I seen what he did for those guys in Durham, North Carolina that lost their jobs for playing his music. Do you know that Young Dolph invited them out to a concert and gave them guys like $20,000 a piece? I think. Yes, and he was pretty much independent. Now I'm not saying he didn't sell out. I'm not saying he was an angel and he didn't have his own. I'm not saying he didn't have his hands in some stuff and he was perfect, but I'm just like he won't all no bad dude or whatever, it's just sad and it's sad that them people I allegedly heard that the shots came from inside of that cookie shop. It wasn't from outside. That's what those are my opinions or for entertainment purposes, and that's so sad because I think he was like helping them people out, and they was posting the girl, posting him coming there. He was in a work truck a lot of times. I heard he won't really driving around. That man will work and trying to build some stuff up, and probably doing his little stuff he do, and that don't make it right. But I'm just saying, it's sad. It's sad how people. I'm not gonna. Me personally, I'm not gonna delete nobody because they make. I'm gonna make a song about you. Like that's what I did with when a mug came at me with a book. I wrote. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play on the ground. You play on. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, she messed with my man. I'm gonna go and take her out. But, no, I'm gonna make. I know how to write. I know how to make a song. Matter of fact, they wanted me to make a. If I. People do want to hurt you though when you know how to express yourself lyrically and put it, they don't like that. They want to be the one to talk about you, but they don't like it when you talk and know how to come back at them or whatever. So, so I mean, they should have just kept it at music because if they really, I feel like if they really was that emotional to try to get rid of that man because of a song, then that's emotional like a how much how foolish is that over a song? I wouldn't care over a song, and that make because he was independent too. Yeah, they was jealous of him, and he was nice looking and tall, and he had a lot of money and all that. And them women was, they was probably crazy about that. But them other guys had their little group of, I don't know, it's enough women to go around that. These men hate each other. They hate themselves and they hate each other. Yeah, that's all. It ain't no excuse for that. They just hate themselves and hate. And Dolph wasn't even trying to. He was just trying to still make his money or whatever. He won't really not bother nobody. I'm pretty sure he was, creeping with the ladies. But they all do that though. I don't get it. Like they all do that. Like they that jealous. I wouldn't want to be no rapper. I wouldn't want to be no rapper. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I wouldn't. I tell you, it's crazy. It's just crazy. May he rest in power, man. I really hope, and I hope he rest in peace and power when he be vindicated. I'm telling you, so sad. It's just sad. It's sad how people do not value. They don't think they gotta pay for that stuff either. They feel like whatever they do it's whatever they do, and I think about that Booja Batten song. Veteran, blood is on your shoulder. Kill 'em today, you will not kill 'em tomorrow. Veteran, blood is on your shoulder. I love that song. I like some Booja Batten. Booja Batten. Yep. Yeah, it's a mess. It's just crazy. Yep. And now let's see. Get into talk about that student debt, because I don't think I'm gonna bring that up too. Yeah, I don't know about that, because they trying to keep. They just vetoed. They just voted on not doing that. One of the sides, they don't. Even some of the Democrats don't even want it. So. Let's see.
We love our new home,
Great neighborhood, big backyard.
but the lamps. At least
Oh, we got an ad.
car insurance easy.
We saved a lot.
Got an ad.
The Supreme Court could rule on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program as early as this week. His proposal would provide up to $20,000 in debt relief for more than 40 million Americans with federal student loans. This as a group of Senate Republicans have outlined their plan to combat student debt, including bills that would change the way potential students understand the cost of college. Let's bring in senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer, senior national policy reporter Ann Flaherty, and business reporter Alexis Christoforous for more on this. Devin, where does this case stand going into the ruling?
Well, the case could be decided as soon as tomorrow, Diane. This was argued late last year. This is
I want to see something else.
Challenging President Biden's student debt forgiveness plan that was enacted almost a year ago in August 2022. As you said, 16 million Americans signed up by the time it was frozen by the courts. 16 million had been approved already for relief. 26 million had signed up. 40 million, as you mentioned, eligible. So we're talking a big universe of students here. But the justices during those oral arguments seemed likely that they will strike this down when they decide. Anything can happen.
Federal Reserve to raise interest rate 2 more times because of sticky inflation. Yeah, I'm trying to. Student debt. I like what he be saying. It ain't this news. It's news, but it's more like it makes sense. Listen all. Come on now. Which one is this? This is. I don't know. Biden vetoes. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, this is the one I want to see. Yeah.
This happening in the House, it wasn't really a serious threat to President Biden's plan.
This man about to talk about what's going on with them student loans.
In today's video, I want to give you an update on student loan forgiveness. So a lot has happened from where we left off. So the House of Representatives, they passed a resolution to overturn President Biden's student loan cancellation. So essentially, Congress is now against student loan forgiveness. So the House passed the measure by a vote of 218 to 203. So the Republicans control the House of Representatives. So this happening in the House, it wasn't really a serious threat to President Biden's plan. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Democrats control the Senate. And President Biden assumed that the Democrats would block any measure.
Okay, this is clear value tax on student loan forgiveness. It's the if you want to look at it's student loan forgiveness. President Biden votes congressional stoppage, and this is clear value tax. It's good.
Against student loan cancellation if it ever got to the Senate. However, the Senate voted on it, and the Senate passed a resolution to stop student loan forgiveness. The Senate passed it on a vote of 52 to 46. So Democratic Senators John Tester and Joe Manchin voted with the Senate Republicans, along with independents Kyrsten Sinema. And in this instance, because it's a special measure, they just needed a majority instead of the usual 60 votes to pass it in the Senate. Therefore, the measure, it passed in the House and it passed in the Senate. It got sent to President Biden's desk, and President Biden, he vetoed it. If Congress wants to override President Biden's veto, then they're going to need a 2/3 majority vote. It is expected that the House and the Senate will not be able to achieve the 2/3 amount. So President Biden said that he vetoed the measure because he is committed to making college affordable and providing critical relief to Americans from a once-in-a-century pandemic. So that's what's happening in Congress with student loan forgiveness. However, I guess the bigger issue is that the Supreme Court, they're still reviewing the case. They will be issuing a ruling determining whether President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is legal or not. So let me give you an update on that. So here's the situation with student loan forgiveness in the Supreme Court. So there were 2 legal challenges against student loan cancellation that were brought forth to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court heard the oral arguments at the end of February. So the legal ruling, it's going to be issued by early July, but the expectation is that it's going to be issued a little bit sooner than that in late June. So the justices are examining whether President Biden has the power to cancel student loans, because you have to remember that Congress never voted on this. Congress never voted on student loan forgiveness. So the Biden administration says the HEROES Act of 2003 allows the Secretary of Education to make changes to student loans during a national emergency. So they're saying that the pandemic was a national emergency, therefore they do have the power to forgive student loans. The opposition is saying that the administration is improperly interpreting the HEROES Act of 2003 and know that they do not have that authorization. So the expectation is that the Supreme Court will strike down student loan cancellation. That's what the legal community is expecting. So the White House is preparing for that outcome. They're hoping for the best, but they're preparing for the worst. If the Supreme Court denies student loan forgiveness, the Biden administration is not expected to create a new plan for student loan cancellation. So that option would still be available to them. They would have to do it with an interpretation outside of the HEROES Act of 2003, but they are unlikely to pursue that course of action. If the Biden administration does attempt to pursue wide-scale student loan cancellation again, I mean, you probably know this, and they would be faced with the same opposition. They would run into the same legal challenges as they are incurring right now. Another option, which is the more likely option, is that the Biden administration pursues student loan cancellation for a smaller and more targeted group of people. But as of yet, President Biden has not decided on an official Plan B policy. Now, I want to give you a heads up on the timeline of events, so how this is going to play out. So student loan payments are scheduled to resume. So this is a fact because this was mandated within the debt ceiling agreement. And this has been confirmed by the Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. So Cardona said at a Senate hearing to the Appropriations Committee that student loan payments will resume. Cardona said the emergency period is over and we're preparing our borrowers to restart. So for the payment restart date, here are the details. So there is an absolute hard cutoff date of 60 days after June 30th. So the payments will resume on or before August 29th. So that means on August 29th, billing statements will be generated again. So you can expect the next due date to be in late September or in October. And starting on August 29th, interest will start accruing again. Now, I want to tell you this whole situation with student loan forgiveness, it's a major deal, and I'll tell you why. So first, this was a major campaign promise of President Biden that he would forgive student loans. Second, I mean, this probably happened to a lot of people. President Biden got the hopes up of a lot of people. We're talking about $10,000 per borrower, $20,000 for certain Pell Grant recipients. And this is relevant to 37 million Americans with student loans. And the last one that I want to point out is that third, the dollar amount of this size has never been done with student loan cancellation. So the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, they estimate that the passage of student loan cancellation would wipe out $400 billion in federal student loan debt. And I want you to keep this in mind. The student loan payment pause, it started in March of 2020. That's more than 3 years ago. So can you imagine the economic burden when payments restart again? So 37 million Americans will need to make their student loan payments again starting very soon. Now, I want to share these stats with you. I found these staggering. It gives you a sense of how big of a problem, how big of an economic burden that this could be.
Welcome to the chat, y'all. He's saying that more than likely they're not going to approve this. The Supreme Court is not going to approve this student loan forgiveness. So, they're getting ready to start it back up soon. They're getting ready to start it back up in August. You don't have much time. You need to start taking on the interest rate to start back up. And August is going to be the deadline. You're going to start to see that interest around September. So you got to do what you got to do as far as consolidate or get some extensions, whatever you're going to have to do it early. So you don't be trying to clean up your credit if you get that interest before it's on the credit and stuff like that. And we're like, we head into a social system where if your credit ain't about nothing, you don't really, you got a chance. So, yeah, it's just good to keep that in mind that the extensions are ending for the pandemic and all that stuff. So, might want to be trying to make other arrangements. I'm gonna play the thing that's gonna get you started with how to pay it off too. So this is a diverse channel. Like, subscribe, and share. As you come in, support our organization. Thank you for your support.
Become when payments restart.
Building your online business? Go to
Don't
Wix.com
have Prime.
and set up your store.
5% of student loans, they're already in default status.
Young
Morning
lady.
Consult, they took a survey. 3 out of 4 borrowers, they say that they would need to adjust their lifestyle by reducing their spending to make their student loan payments. 2 out of 3 borrowers say that they would have to work extra hours or find additional work to meet the payments. Now, I want to give you my opinion. So if I had to take a guess, I expect that the Supreme Court will strike down student loan cancellation. I believe that they're going to deem it unconstitutional. That the HEROES Act of 2003 does not give authorization for wide-scale student loan cancellation. So the reason why I'm saying that is because the Supreme Court has a conservative majority. And also, I want to point this out. Take a look at Congress. Some of the Democrats are against.
Yeah, he's saying even some of the Democrats is against that, and the Supreme Court is pretty much conservative. So I wondered, did Biden know all this before he proposed this stuff? Did he know? Because he's been in there for a long time. So I'm wondering, did he, was he cupcaking us or something? I don't know. But either way, I don't be depending on that stuff. I don't.
So
I try to have me a plan.
Conservative justices,
Anyway.
you know that they're going to oppose it, and then you don't know for sure about the justices that are lean towards the Democrats. You don't know if they're going to support it either. So all I'm saying is that the odds are against student loan forgiveness in the Supreme Court ruling. If the Supreme Court strikes it down, I expect that the Biden administration will no longer pursue wide-scale cancellation. I expect President Biden to blame the Republicans for lacking compassion for student loan borrowers. I expect that the Biden administration will pursue student loan cancellation, but it's going to be at a much smaller scale. I think that's going to be for very targeted groups of people. So let me know in the comments down below how you think that this is going to play out. Let me know how you think that the Supreme Court is going to rule. Regarding what happened in Congress, I don't think that the House and Senate, I don't think they're going to have the ability to come up with the 2/3 votes to overturn President Biden's veto. Therefore, I think that it's all going to boil down to the Supreme Court's decision. And I just told you my prediction on how I see that outcome coming out. So let me know in the comments down below. I'll be taking a look at what you have to say, and please take a look at other people's comments as well to see, how their perspective and how they feel. So thank you so much. Please subscribe. I'll keep you updated, and I wish you a very nice day. Take care.
Okay, he's saying that he don't believe they're gonna cancel it out. Yeah, he don't believe they're gonna cancel out student loan or student debt. Let's see, now I'm gonna put this thing on so it can show us how to start the process of paying it off. Y'all gotta start somewhere, But you want to call early on and try to get your extensions or whatever you gotta do till you figure out, how you're gonna consolidate your debt. Because a lot of people have it, and people pay it off. There's ways to pay it off too. Yep. All right. One second. Here we go. There he is. All right, let's share this screen.
You a step-by-step guide of how to pay off your student loans, starting from graduation and going all the way up until balance due zero. Now, if you actually have any interest in our personal journey through a lot of this hot mess, go ahead and check out this video right here. Now, I'm 40, I'm an elder millennial. When I graduated college was 2005, and we're gonna get into interest rates in a minute, but when I graduated 2005, I had $21,000 of credit card debt and $20,000 of student loans. And within 3 years, by the time I was 25 years old, I have them completely paid off. But that's actually not what we're here to sit down and discuss and talk about today. Actually, much more importantly, my wife and I agreed. We are on the same page financially. We agreed, and we went into $168,000 worth of medical student loans between 2016, 2017, 2018, and then we started paying them off in 2019, 2020, and then we had them completely paid off by 2021. So I've paid off student loans twice, y'all. So how do we do it? Well, here is the step-by-step guide. Step number 1, you need to first research and decide on which repayment plan most aligns with what you're trying to accomplish. And then step 2, you need to actually do the refinance. You need to do the paperwork. And then step 3, you need to live below your means and make extra payments. That's it. Now, how fast you're able to pay off your student loans and still enjoy your pursuit of happiness is entirely up to you, your chosen career, and obviously how much money you make minus how much money you spend and what you're going to end up doing with the difference, right? All right, so let's start with step number 1, research and decide on your repayment plan. So research, this first starts with, do you consolidate or do you refinance? A consolidation, real quick, it's a one-time deal with the federal government. I would say if you do not have a great credit score, that's a really good option for you. If you have a good credit score, I would say refinancing is probably a good option for you. They're going to pull your credit. They're going to ding your credit. If you got a good credit score, you're probably going to have a pretty fair and good interest rate, relatively speaking, to the interest rate environment that we're in right now, obviously, right? So that would be refinancing. You want to take all of these. I'm going to put this on the screen here. We had multiple interest rates. Now, obviously, your interest rate's going to be different than what you're seeing on the screen here, but you're going to have multiple interest rates that vary from, one to another. We refinanced all of them to one interest rate with one loan with SoFi, and that's kind of what happened for us, right? So that will be refinancing and consolidating. Now, real quick though, quick tip. You typically have 6 months worth of a grace period. So before you refinance, one tip, one idea would be if your new income after you graduated and got a job, right? Or after you're doing this, your new income, if you can afford to pay off a credit card in full, pay off a car in full, if you could do something to improve your credit score, maybe consider doing that before refinancing your student loans, right? So you got a 6-month window. If you can get employment and you get started right away, that's actually not a bad idea, because if you got a really big sizable chunk of student loans, man, a 0.5% or whole percent interest rate, that really does matter, and it can really save you. So consider doing that if you are watching this video at the right time of your life, right? Now, here's the bottom line. Let me just jump ahead of the end here. Do not do what we did. We are weird. We are crazy people when it comes to our finances. We refinanced to a 5-year adjustable rate student loan. Do not do that. If I were you, I would go with a 5, 10, or 15-year fixed rate loan, right? Now, why did we decide to do that? Well, it was on purpose. We wanted to handcuff our debt to income ratio, right? We wanted to force ourselves to not be able to buy real estate. And it worked. It worked. Now, many people can second guess whether that was a smart decision or bad decision. And I'm here today to take a little bit of ownership and to swallow my pride and to say, I wonder how much better off we would have done. But we did actually dabble in a little bit of real estate during this time period. So I'll remind my wife about that. And I'll remind her we did pretty good on that property as well. So at the end of the day, you need to decide based on your research, based on what the 5, 10, 15-year fixed monthly payment, what that means to your budget. That's part of your research. And you need to research your heart, your head. You need to ask yourself, how quickly do you want to pay these off? Do you want to be crazy like Kyle? And do you want to pay them off as fast as possible? Or do you want to maybe be smarter than Kyle and pay them off slowly and then invest the money somewhere else? That is entirely up to you, right? But you need to find out what motivates you. We weren't motivated by building up a large brokerage account, or, we weren't motivated by real estate at the time. We didn't even have, at the time of doing this, we didn't even have money to scrape together to even buy real estate. So that's what also made this decision a little bit easier for us. So at the end of the day, everyone's a little bit weird in some area of their life. We're weird with our finances and paying off.
Yeah, he has a lot of good stuff up here about, paying off debt, and you can learn some stuff from watching some of these people. They did it, and they up here showing you how to do it. All you gotta do, the information is out there for you now. If you wanna find out how to do stuff, you can go up here, and the name of his thing is it's called Awareness. 1 second, so I can give you the right exact name. So y'all see, it's called Financial Awareness Student Loans, How to Pay Them Off. You can look it right up. You can go up here and look it up. And play a little bit more, then I'm going to get out of here because I have some more work to do. But it has been fun, and I have enjoyed. Come in here, like, subscribe, share, support our organization. You see the information is in the subscription. As you come into the replay, let me know that you're in here. Throw up some hands, some angel signs, some sevens. Throw up some sevens, because that's my number, 77. I'm a life pad, baby, but I got a lot of sevens in my birthday, so throw up that 7. This is the year of the 7. Throw up them sevens and them hearts, this unconditional love, purple hearts when you come in. The purple heart, throw up them sevens. Let me know you're in here when you come and listen at the replay.
This low interest debt was something that I don't regret, but I do need to take a little bit of ownership and personal responsibility and say, you know, in hindsight, I wonder if maybe we would have a larger net worth right now. However, who cares? Who cares? Because now we have a great debt to income ratio, and because we paid off the loans and because we have no payments except for our mortgage, we're doing fine. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna be doing just fine.
I love it, boy.
Personal journey through a lot of this hot mess.
I love it. They'll eat cheese and they'll be living in a nice home, have a nice home, and drive any kind of car, and I get a piece of land and have some patience and build them a house later on after they scrape up and save and won't be eating out of nothing. Just save every penny. We gotta get that. This man teach you to live below your means. You can't have everything you want and be in them lower desires and them. Show you have some discipline in this world. To have anything, you gotta have some, because you can get money. It ain't getting it, it's keeping it and investing it in the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us don't go through a lot of money, because we didn't a lot of us didn't know how to, man, we won't talk this stuff. We was not taught how to be patient and gotta have, and how to build and keep our credit intact and add credit lines and all that. We were taught I gotta have it right now in the microwave. No, we gotta retrain our brains and learn. We gotta learn. Even with planting, it's good to teach kids. That's what my baby was saying. It's good to teach children how to grow flowers and grow a garden, because it teach them patience, that they can't have it right then and there. Excuse me. Yeah. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna get on up out of here.
Go ahead and check out this video right here. Now, I'm 40. I'm an elder millennial. When I graduated college was 2005. And we're going to get into interest rates in a minute. But when I graduated, but you're going to have multiple interest rates, a whole percent interest rate, that really does matter, and it can really save you. So consider doing that if you are watching this video at the right time of your life, right? Now, here's the bottom line. Let me just jump ahead of the end here. Do not do what we did. We are weird. We are crazy people when it comes to our finances. We refinanced to a 5-year adjustable rate student loan. Do not do that. If I were you, I would go with a 5, 10, or 15-year fixed rate loan, right? Now, why did we decide to do that? Well, it was on purpose. We wanted to handcuff our debt to income ratio, right? We wanted to force ourselves to not be able to buy real estate. And it worked. It worked. Now, many people can second guess whether that was a smart decision or bad decision. And I'm here today to take a little bit of ownership and to swallow my pride and to say, I wonder how much better off we would have done. But we did actually dabble in a little bit of real estate during this time period. So I'll remind my wife about that. And I'll remind her we did pretty good on that property as well. So at the end of the day, you need to decide based on your research, based on what the 5, 10, 15-year fixed monthly payment, what that means to your budget. That's part of your research. And you need to research your heart, your head. You need to ask yourself, how quickly do you want to pay these off? Do you want to be crazy like Kyle? And do you want to pay them off as fast as possible? Or do you want to maybe be smarter than Kyle and pay them off slowly and then invest the money somewhere else? That is entirely up to you, right? But you need to find out what motivates you. We weren't motivated by building up a large brokerage account, or, we weren't motivated by real estate at the time. We didn't even have, at the time of doing this, we didn't even have money to scrape together to even buy real estate. So that's what also made this decision a little bit easier for us. So at the end of the day, everyone's a little bit weird in some area of their life. We're weird with our finances, and paying off this low interest debt.
And our people got to get better with the life insurance thing too. We do. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to myself. We have to be more responsible. We got to put down them cigarettes, or that eating out, or that even cutting back on the Uber Eats, or the eating out, or the some extra something that you don't gotta have, it's something that you desire because you need more discipline. That could be used to pay on some of this life insurance and different things, and cut down on some of your debt. Everything counts. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have more discipline. And we have to learn to live below our means. We don't need everything that we think we need either. Nope. And this is that boring talk. People want to hear about gossip. They don't want to hear about this stuff right here. But see, this stuff here intrigues me. I like stuff like this. That's why I'm showing it to you, because I be looking at this stuff. I be learning. I'm a very diverse. You're going to see spiritual stuff on my channel and find it all. I'm a diverse person. I just don't stick with the reality gospel stuff. Because, you know, little be known, it's all right to talk about little T, but them people ain't doing nothing for us. We gotta get ourselves together from within and you know, balance our stuff out and fix ourselves, save ourselves. We can't, you know, talk about them superstars is cool a little bit, but I'm not just gonna spend my whole thing beefing with somebody or talking about celebrities and stuff. I'm talking about some stuff we need to be doing in real time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's right.
That was something that I don't regret, but I do need to take a little bit of ownership and personal responsibility and say, you know, in hindsight,
What did I do? Hi. I ain't mean to take that man off.
student loan forgiveness, student loan cancellation, there maybe is a small subset of people that might find this video that maybe you earn under a small amount of income, or you are serving an underserved area. That's probably more realistically probably what it is, right? You're in an occupation, or you are serving an occupation in an underserved area for your occupation, and because of that, you're going to probably work it for 10 years, and then you're going to get it forgiven, right? That's got to be part of your process as well. For most of these, though, it's a pretty long 10-year commitment. And I think even if there is some student loans that do get forgiven, in many cases, I do believe that you actually might have to pay income taxes on the remaining amount that is forgiven. Still a good deal, but you got to make a real long 10-year commitment in your life typically. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything else that I'm not really thinking about that student loan forgiveness, occupation, underserved area, right? All right, step 2, refinancing. This is super easy, guys. We're gonna blow through this. This is the easy part. This is just paperwork. However, in this paperwork process, I will say this. Here's a little tip. So I wanted to mention this. When you go to set up your payments with SoFi, which is who we did it through, or whoever you decide to go through, when you go to do that, I believe you should do automatic payments, automatically drafted, because number one, it'll happen automatically, and when you automate your life, it becomes easier, and you build up that habit much easier as well. And more importantly, you should get a discount on the interest rate. When we did this, they were offering a discount if we were to set up automatic EFT payments every month. So I would strongly recommend that as well, right? Okay, so number 3, this is going to be the hardest one and the longest one of all of these, and that is simply living below your means and making extra payments. Now, there are some people out there that might be watching this video that have the money, number 1, and have the risk tolerance, number 2, to go out and maybe acquire a piece of real estate, hold it for a few months or a year, flip it and sell it. Maybe there are some people that have that skill set, or maybe there are some people watching this video that are able to take money, invest it in the stock market for 1, 2, or 3 years and make it grow. Maybe there are people that are like that, but there are few and far between that can. And so I would say most people, the only way you're going to pay off your student loans is if you pay extra on them, or just commit to paying all that interest for the full term of the loan and just take whatever money you thought you should throw extra at the student loans and invest that, or save it and buy some real estate. Don't save it and go on a trip to Hawaii. Don't save it and then buy a $100,000, $200,000 car. That's silly, right? If you're
Well, guys, if you want to see him, he is Financial Awareness, and he is here on YouTube. And this is the one paying off student debt. Called Financial Awareness. We're gonna get out of here. I have enjoyed this live. Y'all watch the replay. Let me know how you like it. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for your support. Support our organization. When you look at this years and years and years down the road, let me know in the ethers how you like it. Let me know how you feel about the stream. You know, we talked about Sukihana and the assault and OK Siris and how you know I'm not gonna he is wrong what he did, and yeah, it's a criminal act that should be punished. And but a lot of those, even he's exploited in the industry, maybe been exploited as a child. I ain't trying to say feel sorry for nobody, but these are people that is in the industry. They go from one exploitation as children to these industry gatekeepers exploiting them, and we have made it okay for that to happen to women like Sukihana and other women, as far as letting it be a comfortable environment for women and girls and even boys and even some men to be assaulted and disrespected and harassed and stuff like that. I talked about that in the beginning. I talked about Mr. Beast and the trouble he's in and how he'll be all right. Mr. Beast is a philanthropist, and he's building and expanding, and even how he'll be fine. So we just gotta learn to be diverse and get attention too, like that, in a good way. With helping people, and gotta be more like our brothers keepers and more of showing unconditional love and helping out and giving back to the community and adding value. And it's sad that Bootsie, is in the trouble he's in, but maybe it's karma, or maybe he was talking too much, or maybe they set him up, or maybe it's a little bit of everything. I don't know, but it's just sad that those families been complaining and crying about how their family loved ones was gone because of Bootsie and Marlo Mike working for Bootsie and all these people that's passed away in the last few years, and he's all tied up with that. It's sad that he, like I say, you can take the man out of the streets, you can't take the streets out of the man. And I just think he was doing some great things with building the community of Louisiana that he was building. But what you put out, I guess, comes back to you. But like I said, some of the other people that has been doing evil stuff, they still going. So I don't even know. I don't know. Cause why they ain't got their karma yet. All them elite politicians is they hurting children and doing a lot of mess. I'm trying to figure out how they got time to watch Boosie. Shouldn't they be getting yeah, he's a criminal, but they should be getting all of them. All these politicians and stuff too, along with Boosie. If he a criminal, he need to pay. But they need to get it. It shouldn't just be for some. It should be for all. Yeah. And the Crown Act was passed a few days ago in Texas, in Austin. Governor Abbott passed it for the black people to be able, indigenous people to be able to wear their hair legally. And I don't think I know he didn't have nothing to do with that in the beginning, but I just think in 2023 we should be following along in this with skin color and all this racism and people discriminating against people for their skin color and racism, and even people of the black community with colorism. I just think we far behind. And like I don't think that they saying the Supreme Court is not going to be in favor of canceling out the student debt. And then you look at Eastern North Carolina, Pitt County area, Greenville, and all that, and what was happening in the 70s. They saying it was just as bad as Mississippi. Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Y'all let me know in the comment of what you think. Is that environment any better? Because I know where I moved to, it's not. It's a lot of diversity. I'm not saying I'm in heaven, y'all. I'm not saying I'm in heaven. I stayed, when I be in that area, it's because of family. I'm a family orientated person no matter what. I'm a very family orientated person. So when I be in that area, it be about family, but I love to travel too. But where I'm at now, it's a lot of diversity, and it's a lot. I see a lot less racism. I ain't saying it's perfect, but I see a lot less, knock on wood. I'm sorry about hurting you. I got tired of that, and that's it's still, you being harassed by, you can't even drive down the road in peace hardly. It's not. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. And it's bad that I had to go somewhere else, but that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go. You got to go away to make a way. I still love my family. I still stay in touch with them. I will be visiting them, but that's the way the environment is still too far behind for me. I mean, even when I was even as a child, I didn't like that stuff. I traveled in, I saw different environments and different places, and I'm just grateful that I was able to travel and stuff. And they took me, even my mom and them, they took my grandmother and them took me to different places where I could see, that people had, more confidence and could speak up for themselves. Because if I never went anywhere and I just stayed in that one area, I'd be pitiful. I know I would. And that's what I want. I want for everybody to be able to have rites of passage and borderless, where you can travel and that's what it's about, connecting with other people, learning things, learning different cultures and stuff like that. We are all brothers and sisters. Unconditional love, working with other people, working with other women. I can't be in this world in a bubble by myself and never step into the unknown and see what's going on and see what's. I have to get out of the comfort zone, and we all do. I be too comfortable sometimes, and I can't be in the comfort zone, and I can't be in the material world. I have to get in the unknown, and I have to get in the spirit, dab into the spiritual, and get out of I'm going from the material into the spiritual, and from comfortability into the unknown. That's where the blessing is. That's where the blessing is with strangers. That's where the bliss is, in the unknown and with strangers. And it's not straight up and down predictability. It's in the spiral. It's in the circle. It's in the ever changing, like nature. It's in that energy of always creating and changing. It's in that spiral, that circle. It's not in that predictability. That's that masculine energy, that feminine creative energy. Even in a male, they got to tap into that too. It's in that spiral, in that circle. Yeah. So everyone, it's been a blessing to spend time, and thank you for your support. As you see, support. Our temple, Maya's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love, have an upcoming food drive. In the next few days, we're going to be feeding the community. So any donations and volunteering is appreciated. You can contact us at the Gmail. And also, it's in the description. Everyone have a wonderful Friday. I'm going to get out of here because I've been out here for a while, and I love spending time with y'all. And I will see y'all soon. This is Moon Goddess 777. Like, subscribe, and share.